This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
Hello. What's going on?
Nothing ever. You?
Also nothing ever? Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm having a kid this week.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty big
So
news.
it's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty significant. There might not be a show next week.
Okay.
We plan to be home by the time everything kind of sorts
Me and
itself
you.
out. Yeah, but back at our bachelor pad that we live in.
That's right. Oh, it's all going to be over for the other, your side biz.
That's
Your
right.
side hustle of having a wife and family.
Exactly.
Okay,
Then
that's
I'm-
good. Thank
Then
God.
I'm back out on the town.
Because you feel what's going to happen is you're gonna snap after this one.
Yeah.
The realization's going to hit you like a sledgehammer.
Happens.
That you've got two kids now.
Yeah.
And that's at least one too many. And we're going to, bad, the boys are going to be back on the town. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, there might not be a show next week, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
It could just be I'm tired and I don't want to do one.
It could be we're both standing out of the sunroof of a limousine, just in tuxedos, firing guns and holding champagne, you know?
That's
that could
right.
Be it.
Not to celebrate the birth of a child, mind you.
Absolutely not. No. Why would anyone do that?
That's it. All right. So, in other news,
Yes.
also equally exciting news, I would say. I was on The Last Thing I'll Ever Do. I was on Comic Pop early this week. Sal, it's got an excellent YouTube
yeah, right.
channel where we talked about all the film adaptations of both Alan Moore and Frank Miller.
My goodness.
So I squeezed it in before I can never do anything ever again.
Sure, absolutely.
So it's about 2 hours and it was really fun. And
Yeah.
people, obviously, a lot of people would already know that channel, but if you don't, go and check it out because it's amazing and it was a good time and he's a great dude.
Great.
Yeah. Why don't you marry him if you love him so much, Mason?
Well, you know where that leads.
You're a free and single man, so why would
That's-
you? You know what I mean? You're a bachelor about
That's right.
town.
Exactly. Right. But we all know where it leads, you know, standing out of the roof of a limousine,
know.
firing guns, drinking champagne. So
That's
it sounds
right.
really great eventually.
Yeah. So I'll link that below if people do want to check it out.
That's cool.
Any other updates or should we just news?
That's just news, I think. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I love news. So Harrison Ford, a few people sent this in.
Yep.
I'm not sure if this person was the first and they probably won't be the last, but Cold Nose 99 sent in the article, one of the articles. And basically what happened,
He's got a nose for a scoop.
you know he does. Harrison Ford is
Or he's a healthy dog.
either way.
Cold nose, wet nose.
Cold nose good for a dog.
Okay.
Dry nose. No, sorry, wet nose good for a dog. Dry nose bad.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But also don't touch your dog's nose because they're very sensitive. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Just looked around to see if my dog was in reaching distance.
That's right. Yep. Correct.
But
Hey, dog, you're a test subject now. Come here.
so Harrison Ford.
You're going to get booped for science purposes.
Harrison Ford, again, he's been in an aviation incident. This one, maybe, luckily not as severe as some of the other ones, but he's admitting fault in a recent incident at a California airport where he reportedly piloted a plane on April 24th, crossed over a runway where a different aircraft was attempting to come in for a landing.
Oh, my goodness.
Which, you know what that ends in. Big plane crash, potentially. You know what I mean?
But if any, you know, I mean, it may end up with him like running across one of the wings, trying to push somebody through a propeller.
Sure, absolutely.
You know?
Well, it's
Or
like it didn't come to that.
They think, they think they've got the upper hand. Then they step backwards and it comes right off.
That's it. The good thing is, I guess, from Harrison Ford's perspective, he's admitted fault through a representative to CNN. He said, Mr. Ford crossed the airport's only runway. Runway. I said runway. It's runway, isn't it?
Yes. It's not a monkey bar situation. You wouldn't build monkey bars across a,
certainly wouldn't.
a plane landing strip, would you?
No. In his aircraft after he misheard a radio instruction from the ATC. He immediately acknowledged the mistake and apologised. The purpose of the flight was to maintain currency and proficiency in the aircraft. No one was injured and there was never any danger of a collision.
So his goal here essentially was to perform some airplane techniques to avoid losing his license. And in doing so, he passed directly in front of a plane that was coming into land.
Correct. I mean, it could have been, we don't know how close it was. Maybe it was 10 minutes. Maybe it was 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
We don't know. Maybe it was 4 seconds. Maybe it was super close.
Yeah, I think we'd know about it.
It was 4
It
seconds.
was super close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like it was a case of
Yeah.
a significant amount of time.
For those aviation heads out there, airheads,
Yeah.
is this a common thing? Like
Good question.
if you know anything about, if you work in it, if you're in one of those towers,
If you're an air traffic controller
Yeah.
who needs to keep like a zen-like level of focus at all times and you're listening to this podcast, stop listening to the podcast or quit your job.
Yeah.
Quit your job and devote yourself to this podcast full time.
or 2 headphones, podcast in one ear, aviation stuff in the
Perfect.
other. That's probably
Perfect.
that's a good compromise, I feel.
Yeah, that's right.
And support us on Patreon, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, so
I'm coming in on the South Landing Strip. I got 2 engines out.
so
I need some help.
do you I want to know, is this common if you're a pilot?
Yeah.
If you're an amateur pilot, have you ever done this? Like, is this a thing that happens?
Also, what plane is Harrison Ford flying?
I think he's doing some light aircraft shit.
Okay, right. So it's like one of those
Like a
little
Cessna, I
It's
think.
like one of those ones. If you get onto it, if you're like, we're going to transfer you to the nearest airport, and you get put in like a, or if you're going to a regional location, they put you in one of those tiny rickety ones.
They're no good.
I imagine it's one of those.
I've been on a few of those, and I've never had a good time.
Bet it smells like the 70s.
They do smell like the 70s, and the pilot's smoking, and they're like, what do you think of flying? And I'm like, I fucking hate it, actually.
Yeah, right.
It's really bad, especially in this tin can.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing about this kind of plane is you'll notice that most passengers vomit. Don't know why that is.
What are the...
Anyway, time for a loop-de-loop.
When I lived up north, we had to get a small aircraft in and out of the community because there was no other way in half of the year because it was rained, so you couldn't drive in. And the drive was like 12 hours. But one time, I wasn't on this flight, but the door opened on one of these planes. They ended up being shut down for massive breaches in safety. But
How high are you up at that point?
yeah. You die.
guess.
Like, if you fail, you definitely die.
No, I mean like because apparently, like, you know how they say, you know how when you're on a major, like a 747 or whatever, and they're like, do you want to sit in the emergency exit row? And people are always worried that somebody will pull that lever and the thing.
Yeah, right.
Apparently the pressure is so high, like on a commercial flight,
Oh,
that
no,
even if
not-
you pull the
not
lever,
these.
nothing will
Nah.
happen. Yeah, right.
Maybe above the clouds, maybe.
Okay, wow.
It's not much.
Yeah, right.
You just
Okay, here's a
and
clear.
you get rocked a lot.
Yeah, here's a clear test. Is the pilot wearing like a scarf and some goggles and like a leather helmet?
Often, yes.
Okay, right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. But anyway, more news.
Yes,
Let's glad
please.
everybody's safe.
Anyway, I say guilty.
I agree.
I'm the admitted fault, so.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that's right. How's this for
I sentence you to remaining a rich celebrity.
until your dying days in 20 years, probably, because you'll live forever? The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Henry Golding and Samara Weaving will likely reprise their roles as Snake Eyes and Scarlet in a follow-up G.I. Joe movie that's not a Snake Eyes movie. What do you think of that?
Did you say Henry Golding was Snake Eyes?
Snake Eyes.
I had no idea. And I've seen both of those movies.
Snake Eyes. Oh, no. Ray Parker's been Snake Eyes in previous Snake Eyeses.
Yeah, right.
But this is a Snake Eyes prequel, and then they're doing G.I. Joes again.
So you need a very handsome man.
That's right.
He seems more like a Storm Shadow to me, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. But so is he going to be under the mask and mute for like the rest of these movies then? Because that's what Snake Eyes is about.
Yeah,
no?
I don't know. It's a good question.
When does he get his Snake Eyes? When in the series?
It's in a helicopter accident, but I couldn't tell you. In the,
Do you see his face much? He's scarred, right?
like
He's all-
previous to, you don't in the comic books. I don't think you ever see it in the like the cartoon or anything.
Sure.
But in the comic books, he's always masked. But there's like there was this huge lead up, if I recall, in like the 90s, and then he takes his mask off and he's got like one
Snake Eye.
big snake eye. Exactly. Yeah. Also, he's blonde in the comics.
Is he?
I don't know if that.
Oh, but so has he got a big zigzag through his head?
Yeah, and he's kind of melty.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not quite Elephant Man, but it's not. You know. It's not
not like-
on a scale of female protagonists from Ready Player One
Yes.
to the Elephant Man. It's about a 5.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so somewhere in the middle. Would he still be able to get chicks?
I mean, if he shows off those incredible katana skills, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just with the face alone, he'd no katanas. He has to put his katanas away. It's on a
Maybe not.
blind date.
Maybe not. He could do some flips, probably.
Yeah, but he's not allowed to.
Oh,
'Cause they're in a,
wow.
They're in a very bustling restaurant, and if he does, he
Oh.
kicks the tray out of the waiter's hand.
Yeah, I reckon he could do some sort of like cutlery related
Okay, but
based
if
tricks.
if you went to
If you take away all his skills, sure.
no, I'm saying, but if you went to a restaurant,
All right,
on
James.
a-
If I took away your katana skills and your flips and how would you have met your wife?
how would I even accidentally cut my hand off?
Exactly.
All I'm saying is, if you went on a blind date,
Yes.
and you turned up, and the person had a 5 out of 10 Elephant Man scar down their face,
Yep.
and had a katana and didn't say anything to you because they were mute, and then did a backflip and kicked a tray out of the waiter's hand.
But they still-
how would you receive
I probably, I don't know. Maybe I definitely ask about the katana.
that? Sure, but
know?
I can't tell you.
Oh, they can't tell me. Oh, because
Yeah.
he's mute. They could write,
How does he communicate?
I think it's mostly gestures.
Right.
Rude gestures.
That's rude.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, are you excited for a Snake Eyes follow-up?
Sounds good, but again, Henry Golding looks more like Storm Shadow is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think they might be combining it with the Transformers universe at some point. There's been no evidence. Well, there's been a little bit of evidence, but there's been no official talk of that. But we might come back to that a bit later because there was a new logo for Space Jam. Space Jam, a new legacy.
I saw that. I did see it, yeah.
So LeBron is back to do a new Space Jam.
Yes.
Hot off the back of Michael Jordan with his new documentary. Have you watched it?
No.
It's really great.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix
Okay,
here.
right.
Yeah. It's on HBO.
You got some
if you're
flack
in
this week, I
America.
think, on Twitter. I think you said that Michael Jordan won 5 championships in a row or something like that.
I didn't notice that. Did I actually get flagged?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Didn't he?
No idea.
I don't know.
Also, I don't know how basketball works. So. I don't know if you can be a champion. You know, I don't know if it's possible.
They'd won a few seasons in a row when the thing starts, and
Okay.
the last one. It's about their last season when I don't know.
right.
I didn't even notice that. Anyway, fuck you, people who said that. If you said it, which you may not have, because I didn't remember seeing it. Yeah. The important thing is
Yes.
that Space Jam: A New Legacy is happening.
Okay.
Just in time for whenever it comes out in 4 years, because
Well,
everything's shut
I mean,
down.
you know, the Looney Tunes are hotter than ever, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Well, they're coming back. Did you see? They're bringing back to HBO Max.
Oh.
There's a new series. They're winding up again.
Cool.
All the tunes are back,
Okay.
which is good, I think. Have
Yeah.
you seen the trailer for it?
No.
It actually looks pretty good.
All right then. Are they rude?
I don't think they're like Animaniac rude. I think they're more like old school rude. How one of them's like, what do you think of this big hammer? And the other one's like,
I sure wouldn't want to get hit in the face with that hammer.
but then
Then they are hitting
they
the face.
don't have a compromise and they don't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it all animated or is it we've fallen into the real world?
No, it's all animated.
Okay, right.
It's like, it looks even a little bit like the classic
Oh,
Looney
okay.
Tunes cartoons. I really like the designs that they've done.
cool.
According again to the Hollywood Reporter, Mason, Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings writer Dave Callahan but will be involved with live action Hercules movie.
Oh,
The Disney one.
yes. Uh-huh.
Because we already had some Hercules movies. We had the one with
We had
The
The Rock, Hercules,
and we
yeah.
had the other one with one of the guys from Twilight.
Okay, Twilight The Rock.
We had Hercules: The Legendary Journeys.
Absolutely, the TV classic.
We had the animated movie from 1998-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I think that also had a follow-up and also an animated series.
Yes.
Danny DeVito was in that one.
We've had the historical hero Hercules,
Sure.
fictional,
Hercules in New York.
depending on what you believe. Hercules in New York, exactly. Yeah,
Where's Hercules?
a New York bagel. Just enjoying a New York
Sure.
bagel.
Now, I know you haven't. Why am I asking? Have you seen the animated Hercules
I
movies?
have absolutely not
It's one
seen
of
it.
those ones which is like, this is nearly pretty good.
James Woods' Hades. Is that?
Yeah, he's actually terrific.
Okay.
He's really good. And Danny DeVito's a little goat man. He's like,
Yeah.
"Bah, I don't.
Oh, you know, I
Bah."
saw something on Twitter, and I think Danny DeVito said he'd be up for playing that little goat man.
Yeah.
In the live action version, if that is.
They should 100% get him. They can't get James Woods because I think he's gone mad. I don't know what he's up
Seems
to.
he's
at the
gone
moment.
mad. Yeah.
But maybe he always was. So maybe
yeah.
they should get him. Just be if he's consistent, then get him
Well,
back.
that's true. I think he probably has always been mad, but there was just no social media.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
just had to get it, and you know, anytime. No, and nobody talked to him except when it was, you know, interviews for movies, and he just had to sort of toe the company line. He's like, boy, I wish I could let everybody know that I've gone mad, or I've been consistently mad for decades. But there's just no way for me to do it. If only there was some sort of micro-blogging platform.
Yeah. But there isn't.
No,
It's great seeing celebrities in their day-to-day, isn't it?
kind of.
That's a good answer. Very
Yeah, thank you.
diplomatic.
Yeah.
Because you're rubbing shoulders with them, aren't you? So you don't want to piss anybody off.
Exactly right. Yes. Yes.
Typical of you. Now-
It's nice to get some, you know, home decorating ideas and stuff.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Like, I should put in like an indoors infinity pool. I'll do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you reckon
I
those-
will put in side by side $10,000 fridges. Yes.
But do you think Infinity Pool, are they good? Like genuinely?
For exercise.
Just in general, do you think that's something that you'd want and use if you had the space, which
Yes.
you do?
Yes.
Would you actually get one?
Yes.
But you're not a big swimmer, are you?
But I could be.
Yeah,
I enjoy
but-
a swim from time to
When's
time.
the last swim you swimmed?
I swam. I went up north. I recently had a little swim.
Did a little swim.
Had a
Okay,
little
cool.
swim.
All right.
Yeah.
So you definitely do a swim. Because I'm
And
not
plus
a huge
it-
swimmer, so I don't know whether I'd use it.
But here's the thing. I would much prefer to swim in the comfort of my own home as opposed to at a public pool where everybody points and laughs.
But in the
Because of
comfort
my general, you know, this whole deal.
your face.
I wasn't pointing at my face, but yes.
That's all I see. So that's what I would laugh at.
Oh, yeah, you laugh at my face. No, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Well, I've done this on purpose, so I guess that's only fair.
Claire laughs at me when I swim because I look like I'm really working.
Yeah,
But I'm not going
anywhere,
anywhere.
right?
I'm a horrible swimmer. Yeah, I'm just not built for it or good at it.
Yeah.
Both of those things.
But
probably.
if we had matching infinity pools,
we could duel.
we could be infinity pool bros.
Would they face each other and we'd high five?
No,
we're
we'd be in
swimming?
separate houses, but we'd
be on Zoom.
We'd be on Zoom, yes.
I don't think I'd use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you would if
I'd use a spa.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Can you get a mixture? One that does both?
An infinity pool / spa, probably.
That seem expensive though.
Well, once we become rich celebrities, yes.
Put it up on Patreon, see if people want to do it.
Build us,
Want to buy me
folks, do you want to build us a freestanding double infinity pool / spa so we can swim at each other and then high five in the middle?
Plus some kind of permanent dual screen setup.
Yes.
I don't want to use my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing is, I said I wasn't going to talk about things being pushed back, but John Wick has been pushed back to 2022 because The Matrix has been pushed back.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So there's a real Keanu in this situation
yeah.
until things get a Keanu go.
A real Keanu nituation.
Yes, it is.
He's got
isn't it?
nits. That's the nituation.
Oh no!
Yeah,
he should shave his head, or at least get that treatment and then comb it out.
It's
with
in his
the
beard.
comb.
It's in his.
Oh,
it's in his.
shave your beard. That's an easy fix.
I saw a video recently where he talks about his favorite motorcycles. It's
that?
really good.
Yeah?
It's just on YouTube. Just look up Keanu Reeves
What
motorcycle.
are those ones that they visit his garage or whatever? But it
Yeah.
also the voice is dubbed over in the
I-
interviews. You ever seen like Jim and Fridge? And
No.
the voice feels like it's clearly edited in later and it feels very odd.
This one isn't. It's just because he has a motorcycle company.
Yeah.
So and it was just him being really enthusiastic
It's
about
called
motorcycles.
Kia Go.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yep.
Good. And so
Started as a go-kart company and he's moved up. They're like,
To
what
his
if
real
we?
passion.
They're like, Keanu, what if we took off 2 wheels? It's like genius.
he said no.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just fun to see him enthusiastic about things
Hmm.
in a way that he's not being sort of funneled into an interview about,
Yeah,
and people aren't asking him what about the Matrix. He's like, yep,
it's good.
Yeah.
I was in it.
that's right.
You guys remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, I'll check that out. Deadline are reporting. This is the last bit of news, but it's big news, Mason.
Can we have a little bit of news, Scrubs-related news?
Oh,
Talk about that
yeah.
afterwards,
Ted
yeah.
from Scrubs died, not his real name.
Sam Lloyd is his
Sam
name.
Lloyd,
yeah.
yeah.
The
56 brain tumor.
Yeah,
man.
too young, especially Hollywood. That's crazy young. But yeah, he's the inept lawyer.
Yes.
Slash very good a cappella singer
Yes.
throughout a lot of Scrubs. He's a very sort of harangued, very stressed out lawyer who's constantly sweating from every pore in his body because
Yeah.
of all the pressure he's under at work. But he's also in an a cappella group called the Worthless Peons.
Yes.
If people haven't seen Scrubs, recently because Zach Braff and Donald Faison started that podcast about Scrubs, I'm like,
Scrub-a-dub-dub.
yeah, Scrub-a-dub-dub.
Yeah.
We're here in a tub, infinity tub. I thought about listening to that, and I'm like, yeah, nothing's grabbing me to go back and rewatch Scrubs again.
Me neither, yeah.
But and sad circumstances, but Sam as Teddy Buckland is very good in that show.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody is good in that show, but yeah, especially.
I agree.
Real sad news, but
It is real sad. I don't care for it. Yeah, he's got a kid. He's married. It sucks. 56, too young.
he plays at their wedding. Do you remember?
Yeah, he does. He's in the,
Turk
the
and
Hawaiian thing.
his wife.
Yeah.
Turk's wife.
Turk's wife.
Yeah.
Carla.
There we go. Thank you.
Should
yeah.
watch Scrubs again.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have said like it's problematic because there's a lot of like you're gay and being gay is hilarious.
Yeah, there
but I think
probably is,
if you
yeah.
watch it within the context of
Oh,
like
yeah, for
the
sure.
era,
Yeah, yeah.
you'd probably be able to get past that. Or it's awful.
I say cancel it all.
It's on one of my streaming services I have.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. All right.
It's probably on Stan.
Yeah, it's probably on Stan.
Anyway, sad to see him go.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
But you have some uplifting final news.
It's Transformers related. It kind of is good, actually. So This
Yes?
is from Deadline. Josh Cooley, who's the director of Toy Story 4, he's apparently going to be directing a big-scale Transformers theatrical prequel that focuses on an origin story. It takes place on Cybertron and revolves around the relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron.
Oh, this might be the Alpha Trion movie.
What do you know of the Alpha Trion?
That's Optimus Prime before he was Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, because
I
wasn't
think
he?
that's his
wasn't he
name.
like I'm just a regular
I'm just
working
a regular
man?
guy, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Off I go to robot work. Where's my robot briefcase? You know,
Is Megatron with him? And he's like, Megatron's got big
Megatron's the
plans?
briefcase.
All right.
Yeah.
That's right, because he always turns into a much worse thing.
yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
So Megatron's and the essential beef of those two characters is that Alpha Trion's always getting to work and just slamming his briefcase on his desk.
Yes.
And Megatron's like, I'm a sentient being, right? You know.
And Optimus Prime's like, no, I don't know that.
That's right.
Not
And a lot of
Optimus Prime.
resentment boils up, and then War for Cybertron.
Yeah.
know?
Did they do the they did that in the cartoons, didn't they? They did a flashbacky thing.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah. And also they didn't really cover it, but
Or Orion Pax, maybe that's his
it
name.
might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can look it up. Do you want me to Googs it?
Please do.
Optimus Prime original name.
I'm excited for the tweets that are like, "Oh my god, his name's
Orion
Orion
Pax, yeah.
Pax."
He took the name Orion Pax.
Then a tweet 5 minutes later. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
You corrected yourself.
So what's Alpha Trion?
He's a different guy. I think maybe he was the previous leader of the Transformers.
Well, my understanding is, yeah.
But Megatron's always been Megatron, to the best of my knowledge. Unless he started as Mini-Tron, then he became Tron, the movie Tron.
Yeah.
And then he upgraded to Megatron.
When did he become Tron Legacy?
Probably never.
And then Galvatron?
Then he becomes Galvatron, yeah.
I don't like Galvatron.
Why don't you like
It's a
Galvatron?
bad design.
No,
The problem with
disagree.
the problem with that movie
Yes.
is a lot of things. People love that movie. It's not great.
I'm
It's
willing to
fine.
hear you out, but the
great
rage
animation.
is bubbling up within me.
That a lot of the designs in the new Autobots and Decepticons they introduce aren't very interesting. They're like, the new leader is Rodimus Prime. He's a slightly bigger hot rod, this character you just met.
Right.
Fuck this guy. I don't want to see him.
Wow.
Bring back Optimus Prime, which they did eventually. Yeah.
Have you seen Rodimus Prime's new look in the comic books?
No, I haven't. Is he
Google it.
sick?
Yeah, it's sick.
I'm having
Google it
some
quickly.
internet problems
Google it
here
real
at the
quickly.
moment.
Google Rodimus Lost Light.
All right, hang on. Oh, yeah, that comic that's apparently really good.
Yeah, it is good.
I started to read, I think it was either that one or another one.
Yeah.
But I clearly hadn't read the thing before.
There's so
and
much.
I'm like, I
exactly.
don't understand this at all.
And there's two branching Transformers series, and they both take place simultaneously, but in separate parts of the universe. I think so. It's kind of overly complicated.
Okay, but it's apparently great. People love it.
Yeah.
People love it and kiss
I'm enjoying it.
Come on, Alpha Trion, get it together. My internet's really slowing down here. I got new faster internet, and it's good when it works.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. What did you say again? What was the second thing I was supposed to look at?
Rodimus Lost Light.
Rodimus Prime or just Rodimus?
Just Rodimus.
Okay.
I think he's dropped the Prime.
Because he's not the leader
He's a free
anymore.
agent now.
Cool. He's got that purple and...
Yeah,
that's a
sexy,
sick look.
sexy new look, right?
Well, sexy is a very accurate word, my son.
That's exactly right. I only use it in very specific and correct
That
circumstances.
is a much better look than his old look.
That's right.
My understanding is that he took over, right?
Yes,
And he was the leader for quite a while,
That's
or a
right.
little bit at least. And then Optimus Prime came back, but he was evil because he was missing his soul or something.
He came back, as in the cartoons, he came back, I think, as some sort of soulless shell of a being, and then he
He died
died again
because he sacrificed himself, maybe.
Yeah,
but
and
then
then-
he came back again.
But the comic book, the Marvel comic book continuity was separate from the cartoon continuity. So in the comics, he came back as a Power Master, which is the one where they've got a little man that turns into an engine, goes into his chest,
That's
powers him
right.
up.
Yeah, that's cool. I think.
Oh, it's cool, all right. Oh, it's cool.
It's cool, all right.
Yeah.
It's cool, all right.
Yeah, very cool.
Anyway,
Right,
well,
so anyway, this is going to be be an Orion Pax movie.
I just want to say quick shout out to Keaton McLeod who sent me in the sent in a picture of the Swordfish John Travolta soul patch, which you could buy.
Oh, incredible!
Somebody found it at their parents' house. And it comes with a little patch of hair and a little vial of glue, and you stick that on there, and you walk around like that's fine.
So I have many questions. First of all, you're saying you can buy it?
You could.
You
The person
could buy it back in the day.
found it at their parents'
Also,
house.
That's the larger question there is that he found it at his parents' house.
Yes. Well, he didn't. He tweeted somebody else who found
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Nevertheless, the point is that it's at somebody's parents' house, which means there's some mum and dad soul. What's it called?
Soul patch.
Swordfish. No, yeah,
A swordfish.
There's
yes.
some mum and dad soul patch swordfish action cosplay
you think
happening
that's what's
at
going on
somebody's
there?
mum and dad's house. Yes.
Who's Hugh Jackman? Do you think?
Yeah,
Who
good
else is
question.
in that? Who's Vinnie Jones?
Who's Halle Berry?
Is she in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got paid a lot of money to show her boobs or something.
That's right.
remember?
Yeah. I remember.
That's a good movie.
Is it?
Awful. It's
Yes.
one of the worst movies. It's really terrible. But maybe in a great way. But most Don Cheadle.
Oh, yeah.
But pretty terrible from
Yeah.
memory. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got a topic for this week, which is really exciting. I love topics. Do you?
Yeah.
Then do you want to talk to the topic for the week?
I would love to do one if you tell me what the topic is. Gosh darn it!
I shouldn't have sprung this on you just now, but basically I threw this out on Patreon, but
Uh-huh.
but of course I was going to say people can send them other ways, but I didn't put it out anywhere else, so you can't. You can still send them.
Yeah.
We just can't read them out because
And if you send them now, it'll be too late.
if you're listening to this,
yeah.
you
Unless
missed it by
someone
a long
sends
way.
an idea that is so good,
It breaks space and time.
we'll have to do it next week, won't we?
If we're back next week.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just loading on my Patreon comments because they don't load all at once, and you got to like go. Rup-a-dup-a-dup-a-dup. Anyway, so what we decided to talk about, it's apocalypse movies because it's a very apt time to talk about it because it's the 2-year anniversary of X-Men Apocalypse.
That's
Is it? I don't even know if that's true. Is it?
Maybe.
When did that movie come out? A million years ago.
It seems like a million years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, so, but I thought we'd have a caveat because people are sick of hearing about the virus, aren't they? You sick of hearing about it?
absolutely.
So any one of these which has a virus in it,
Gosh, it's a weird time, isn't it?
I don't like it. No. we're gonna get rid of it, okay?
Yeah,
Because we
that's
don't want to
right.
bring the mood down. We want to bring the mood up. We want to talk about the end of the world, but not in the way that's happening at the moment.
Exactly.
Well, so it's not really the end of the world. Global warming will probably get us in the end, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Think on the bright side. We're going to get through this, and then we're all going to melt. That's what's going to happen. Or drown.
That's right.
Yeah.
So big thank you to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. I put it out there and said, Apocalypse Movies. Hey, so Monday's Weekly Planet is going to be covering the best, worst apocalypse movies. What are some you'd like us to cover for 30 seconds before moving on to another? So it's one of our famous, James and Mason vaguely recall a thing they maybe have seen or haven't seen.
Sometimes
and
we
then
haven't
quickly
even
move on.
seen it. Yeah,
That's right.
Sometimes we'll read the Wikipedia entry for it and go, that seems interesting.
That's
But
right.
yeah, the one caveat, no pandemic-related movies.
That's right.
So no Contagion.
Nope.
No that one.
Also, it didn't end. The world didn't end in that one.
Oh, yeah. No outbreaks. Also, the world didn't end in that one.
Then maybe we can talk about it.
Yeah, right. Look at those
Yeah.
cute little monkeys.
I see somebody have put some disaster movies in here. Like Christopher Brandon has said San Andreas. I would argue that's like a localized thing that happens.
Yeah, that's
he's
Bush League disaster.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Just the destruction of an entire city or continent. I can't remember what happened. But then after that, he's put 2012. Pretty apt,
Right.
don't you think?
Yes.
So that one, I haven't seen it, but it's about the weather goes, we've had enough of your shit. All the weather's going to happen at once.
This
Whether
is
it be
weather
hot or cold.
revenge.
Yeah, it's weather revenge. What do you like it? I don't like those movies. I know that's what I've said, but what do you think?
Is that
of it?
why you didn't watch it?
Yeah. Also, they didn't even make it in 2012. They made it in like 29.
Because that is
2010.
because the Mayan calendar predicted that
Yes.
it wasn't so much weather was out for revenge. It was that the Mayan calendar predicted
Yes.
that the world was going to end in 2012.
Sorry, the day after tomorrow is the one where the weather's coming after them.
There we go.
We're just going to put these together.
Yeah, they're the same. They're the
Cameron
same.
Taylor's put day after tomorrow. So
They're
yeah.
the same. They're the same movie.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah,
So what do you think about those movies?
I hate them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
They look good.
I feel like you would like these more than, say, a Geostorm, only because
I love Geostorm.
I know, but the Geostorm has a protagonist you can punch.
Yeah.
Which is the vice
And a
president.
flavour you can taste.
That's exactly right. Yum, yum. Because it's got a protagonist you can punch.
And you can be like, I'm the president, you son of a bitch.
That's right.
Which might be an exact line in that movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
But these particular disaster movies, there's no one's responsible for
Yeah.
except the Mayans, obviously.
Yeah, it's their fault. But isn't it also that you might have been beginning to say this, and maybe you did say it and I missed it, but the main calendar was just ending and then a different calendar began? Was that the idea?
It's not even. I believe that the Mayan calendar, it just ends ultimately because they just couldn't imagine any further time past that.
Okay, fair
Like they
enough.
were like, I think the idea was that whoever built the Mayan calendar, they sort of did it like a king was like, build me a calendar. And they went, okay, we'll make it go for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Because that's as far as anybody could even conceive.
Yeah, right.
Like it's not that they were like, and then the world's going to end. It was basically, and we'll all be dead by then. So
What does it matter?
right, exactly. I'm only getting paid to do 2,000 years.
Probably got to behead me and throw me in a volcano anyway. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. It's more bureaucratic.
Oh, I see.
Reasoning than anything
Okay,
else.
I understand. Anyway, they're all outrunning the weather and the tectonic plates, and they have to get to an arc in one of them. And Jake Gyllenhaal's in the cold one with Dennis Quaid, and the other one's got John Cusack, and he's driving a limo. But he's the best goddamn limo driver you've ever seen.
What about Logan?
He'd probably be better than Logan.
Wow.
Yeah, because Logan he'd be sleeping in his limo, and the tectonic plates would shift, and he wouldn't even notice that he'd fall into lava.
It's probably true.
That's what I think. He's a drunk, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. I get it.
Yeah, there we go. What have you got though?
Look, I feel I've got some things, but
I love things.
I've got some options of my own. However, I Googled end of the world movies just to see what would come up. And the first link that I really liked was 20 best end of the world movies for when you're feeling like a wild ride from Good Housekeeping magazine.
What is this? What is this for? Good, like bored homekeepers.
I guess, but I'm just fascinated. I'm fascinated by a list from I guess
What year?
it's from March the 17th, 2020. Wow! So it's this year's.
Yeah, that's very recent.
It's just people going like, well, I've done some home renovation and I've cooked dinner for the kids.
Yep.
Now time to think about the world ending.
So what do they got?
Well, first of all, I have a movie from 2019 called The Wandering Earth, which is
Is that a Netflix movie?
no, it says it's one of the biggest, highest-grossing movies of 2019.
Oh, I know that one.
But it's from China.
Yeah, that movie that I think some people like talk about that.
Oh, it is on Netflix apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I heard
group
it's
of
not great though.
A group of scientists who seek to physically move the Earth to get it away from the ever-expanding sun while avoiding collision with Jupiter. Now, on the face of it, that seems like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but
No, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
There's no contrasting evidence to say it isn't the dumbest thing in the world. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to put my foot down and make a judgment that sounds like the dumbest thing in the world. I am, however, going to put it on my Netflix queue.
I've got here, when the sun dies out, the people of Earth build giant thrusters to move the planet out of orbit and sail to a new star system. About 2,500 years, young people continue to fight for everyone's survival.
So who do you think is accurate here then?
I mean, they all seem very accurate. They're wildly accurate, aren't they?
Because this one is I see. This one, it does say they're moving, okay, and the
They
ever-expanding
have
sun.
moved it or they moved it?
They seek to physically move the Earth. Okay,
With a big
all right.
jet on it.
But you know what?
Wouldn't they need a shield around it to lock in like the heat? And what about light and stuff? How do you grow plants if you just shoot the Earth off to the blackness of space until you hit another star?
We are just reading from the script. This is a group of scientists. They're discussing how they're going to move the Earth.
How are we going to get around Jupiter? I don't know. It's pretty big space, so we could probably go around it pretty easily.
Aren't the people on the front-facing end going to get a bit squished from the G-forces? You know? Are they going to be like...
Where do we put the jet?
Exactly.
Just plonk it in the middle of a continent? Which continent?
Isn't all the water from one side of the Earth going to move around to the other side of the Earth? Going to get a bit wet? Over the other side?
That's a really good
People
point.
are going to get bloody soaked over the other side of the Earth.
They're just going to have to put up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd probably put the jet in the middle of Australia, wouldn't they? Those sons of bitches.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, you
No,
could
you
put
know what? They'd put it in... I feel they'd put it in the middle of the
Antarctica?
ocean,
Yeah.
but...
Hard to build though, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I imagine they'd put it in like the middle of the ocean, but like the exhaust would just melt the ice caps and you know, really, really mess up our weather.
Yeah, well.
But there'd be one person just out on Bondi Beach or whatever, just in a deck chair, their
like,
skin
yeah.
melting off.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah, this is cool.
Summer 24/7.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, how about a real one that we have both seen? I know for certain.
That was real?
2013's This Is the End.
Which one's that?
It's the of the two the world is ending movies that came
This
out. I
is the
believe
Seth
that
Rogen
year.
one.
This is the Seth Rogen
I like
one.
that movie.
Yeah,
That's a biblical one.
It is the biblical one.
That's
yeah.
quite fun.
We see a real big Satan at the end.
Yeah.
If I recall.
I like the idea also that they're all playing worse versions of themselves, and
Yes.
it is a send up of like Hollywood celebrity, and there's some pretty gruesome deaths, and
Uh-huh.
Michael Cera's awful in it, and has an awful death. And,
Yeah. This is the one where Jay Baruchel's character is he a failure and he
Well, and he plays himself.
Yes.
but he doesn't like the Hollywood lifestyle.
Yeah, that's
and he
right.
thinks Seth Green. Was Seth Green in it? Probably. Seth Rogen has gone to Hollywood.
Yeah,
and he
right,
hates all of Seth Rogen's Hollywood friends, including
Yeah.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a big Satan with a big giant dick at the end.
That's
of it.
right,
Yeah.
yes. Uh-huh.
And it's got, look, not to spoil the ending, but it's also got a great ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a fun ending. I like that one.
It's pretty I have not rewatched it since it came out,
I think
but
I
maybe I
watched it
should
a
give it
couple of
another
times.
crack.
Yeah, it's very watchable.
It's very watchable, and it's also I feel we should rate these movies on considering the uncertain times we live in.
Yeah.
Should we be watching this?
Yeah,
I
there's a
feel like
fun
we
factor
should
to
because
that,
this
yeah.
is there's a fun factor, and it's not this isn't how we're going to go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Satan isn't going to
God,
return.
imagine if it did though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be so metal.
Because
there'd be
that's-
one guy on Bondi. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. Like some of these, I feel like also we should rate it on what whether we would like to exist in this apocalyptic.
Well, that's interesting because like, what do you get raptured for? Because part of me is like, I'd love to hang around to see who's stuck.
Yeah,
like person
right.
who'd like thought they were great.
I knew it.
Yeah, I
you'd
knew
be
it.
say-
And
yeah.
they'd be like, you're here too, but he'd be like, yeah, but I suck. I know.
I
knew
know
I'd
I
be
suck.
here.
I never claimed I was good. I've always said I've been bad and lame.
No, I think that would be amazing just to see the people that were left. I think
Yeah.
that would be incredible. Which also is a big plot point of this movie.
And a big plot point of the Left Behind series, the Kirk Cameron.
Okay.
The movies
movies,
born
yeah.
from the novels, which I haven't seen, but
No, me neither.
they seem less fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is Kirk Cameron left behind?
I would probably guess something to do with a dead wife.
Oh, okay.
I would be willing to bet. I don't know any of the details, but I'd be willing to bet dead wife or dead daughter,
Yeah,
and
right.
he feels guilty about it, and therefore he's still on Earth.
But then when he forgives himself,
Maybe he goes back into heaven.
well,
Yeah.
well, if you've seen those movies, we're sorry, but let us know.
Let us know.
Maybe they're great.
Maybe they are great.
Maybe
Maybe
they're
they're so
great.
bad it's good, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I don't like that guy.
But yeah, I mean, it's you have to wonder, like, when you go into a This Is the End style universe,
Yes.
is it kind of a, and we're talking about Fury Road. I'd like to talk about Fury
definitely.
Road.
We could talk about all of those.
Yeah. How well do you think you'd do?
Oh my God. In like The Devil's Everywhere?
Yeah.
Really bad. Like
Absolutely,
horrible.
yeah.
It would just be not
Yeah.
good at all.
Are there horrible devil monsters chasing them and This Is the End?
There are, yeah. There's demons and various creatures
Yeah.
that, and they all kind of slowly admit to things that they've done and all
Yeah.
of those things. But it's a great movie.
Yeah.
And you should watch it
Thank you.
if you haven't. There was somebody I wanted to bring up who made a great video on the Kirk Cameron films.
Oh, yes. Is it Lindsay Ellis?
No, it's
Seems
not
like something
Lindsay
she would
Ellis,
do.
But it's a Lindsay Ellis type. And by
Yes.
that I mean a girl.
There are two types of content creators on the internet. Just big, loud, bearded dudes and Lindsay Ellis types, girls.
That's right.
Those are the only two types.
Exactly. But they're my favorite too. So that's all I really need.
Yeah.
Maggie May Fish. That's right. I just remembered.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she does a great Kirk Cameron. She covers a bunch of those movies. Definitely
Yeah.
check them out. What else?
Oh, good question.
Well, you did the last one. I could do one actually.
Maybe you could do one. Maybe get off your tuchus.
Okay.
And do one.
All right. This is from Jeremy Miller, Planet of the Apes. Which ones? I mean, because some are viruses, and we obviously can't talk about the virus ones, but some are just apes. But also, they may be the one series, or are they? They're like those movies. Some of them, the new ones, obviously. What a great trilogy.
The video game, which we played that time.
I hated it. Did you ever play that new one? Because they made a new game.
The VR one?
Yeah, no, I think they actually made like a third-person thing as well.
Oh.
Maybe there was.
But you don't get the full experience unless you're in the VR headset.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, no, I didn't play it.
Yeah, apparently very good. But yeah, Planet of the Apes. Yeah, so, I mean, virus related, but would you say it's more the chimps that are driving that extinction?
Well, yeah, it's certainly, ooh,
Because I think that people would be able to fight back more if they didn't have the virus.
yeah.
The virus wasn't knocking
And at the
them out.
same time, they might find a cure for the virus if they're not constantly being attacked by chimps. You know?
Maybe they shouldn't have started that war for the Planet of the Apes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When does the virus kick in those movies?
End of the first one. Remember
Okay,
a pilot gets it? Well, a few people get it, like John
Yeah, right.
Goodman is going to get it. A few people get it. I can't remember. People get it.
Yeah.
People get it.
yeah,
It's
people
good
get it.
movies.
Yeah.
Great movies. Okay, I can quickly do another one, though.
Okay.
From Douglas says Waterworld.
Yeah.
The polar ice caps have melted, which apparently, if it really did happen, it wouldn't actually flood the entire Earth. Don't get me wrong, it would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't cover the whole world in water.
It'd kill a lot of penguins.
It would kill too many of the penguins. Just leave us some that we can look at them and go,
And enjoy for meat.
yes, enjoy for meat. Waterworld gets a bad rap because it's
a bad movie?
a weird vanity project.
Oh, yeah, right. Uh-huh.
But it's okay.
What if Kevin Costner's movies aren't weird vanity projects?
Superman.
Oh, yep. Did that for a paycheck? Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Mr. Brooks?
Mr. Brooks, that's good.
a
I
good
like
one.
that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good actor. Like he obviously bottomed out in the 90s with this and The Postman and and then various other things, but he's a consistently good actor in
I agree.
mostly good
Yeah.
things, I would say. But Waterworld he's a weird fish mutant man. Dirt is expensive.
Yes.
People are drinking their own piss.
Uh-huh.
Dennis Hopper's like, what do you think of this?
Oh, my God. In Waterworld, dirt's expensive. In Fury Road, water's expensive. I'd say, why don't we just have a happy medium where both dirt and water are at a reasonable price?
Yeah, or they could mix them together, make like a mud, and you could use that one
Oh,
currency.
my God. Yeah, that's right.
A mud, handfuls of mud.
Handfuls of mud. Maybe a Glad bag full of mud.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Mad Max then.
I'm here. I need guns and gasoline. I have this garbage bag full of mud. And they're like, ooh, big spender.
So Mad Max, the first one, isn't
Yes.
really apocalypse. It's
No.
like a small town crime
Yeah.
spree.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Society's
Would it
most...
close that? The dog's
yeah.
barking outside.
Society is mostly still holding together, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then it's right, two real things really kick into gear.
We've never had I would maybe appreciate an intercall in between Mad Max and The Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Where we see society actually. There's a comic book version.
There might
where we see.
there's that Furiosa comic, right? But that's not. nothing to
No,
do with
that's
that.
yeah. But this one, it's like, well, how did we go from? Okay, well, there's some. This is a regular kind
Keep
of.
talking. I'm going to grab my dog.
But I need you here to laugh at my lame stuff that I say.
Laugh loud.
Okay, cool. Is she after possums?
Yeah, possum. Oh, she's behind you.
Okie dokie. Come here, dog. I'm here to touch your nose. Hello. Yeah, I know. You're doing great. You're doing great. I'm going to boop you.
I gotta get that possum.
Yeah, you got a good wet nose.
Possum trap I gotta put out. Not to kill them. You get them in the trap and then you relocate them.
And then you relocate them to the oven.
Yeah, that's right. And then have a delicious possum stew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now that's what I call possum magic.
Yes. That's a great
A
reference.
stew full of dead possums.
Yes, that's right. But sorry, you were saying.
I was saying surely there's a progression between it's like a small town that looks like Shepparton,
Yeah.
70s. You know, it's just regional, and they probably have a bakery that has an award-winning vanilla slice.
Yeah, but it's not that good, really.
Yeah, that's exactly. You go. I mean, it's pretty good, but I could probably just go to my local bakery.
Go to the CBD, you get a pretty
exactly,
kick-ass
pretty good,
one,
like an
yeah.
artisanal one. They're like
They've deconstructed it.
They've deconstructed it, right? Exactly. It's a bag of wheat flour, and just anyway, you make it yourself.
That's right. No, you smoke it. You roll it into a cigarette and you smoke it.
Oh, vanilla-y. But anyway, but it's weird. Like there's a movie where it's just you're in a regional town and the cops are having a tough time with with violent gangs, and then everybody's built a fortress that's being accosted by men in arseless chaps and hockey masks. Like what happened in the middle? I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that guy. I want to see Lord Humongous. You know, he gets the back of his pants torn out by a rabid dog or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I kind of like this. It's
kinda
It's
nice.
hot out here. I like this breeze.
And look, if you got it, flaunt it.
Exactly.
I say. But yeah, and someone's like, look at this humongous butt. And he goes, humongous? Wait a minute. I don't know if I want to see that.
I'm going to be humongous bus.
I kind of like the idea that there is that jump. Also, none of those movies are set in the same continuity.
No, I know, I understand.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think I want to see it just for the challenge of it.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Just to see if a filmmaker can bridge that gap.
I wonder
without
if the Furiosa thing will do it.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I like the idea that the Max from the new Mad Max
Yes.
is actually the dog boy. And it doesn't really work because
Yeah.
he's got the dead family. But Dog Boy could have had his own family.
But also, it's not specifically like they're not. You don't go if you look at them. If you look at the original two,
Yeah.
or even three, and you look at the flashbacks he has in Fury Road, they're not the same.
No, which
people,
speaks
so-
to the idea that they're actually all in completely different continuity.
And I mean, there's touches like his sawn off shotgun and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
but he could have modeled himself off.
It could. I mean, he might have inherited all of original Mad Max's stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and his haircut,
And his haircut.
and his cape situation he had.
the cape and just the bad knee, all of the things.
Yeah, right.
I did start to play that Mad Max game because it was available.
I hear it's
for free.
very good
It is
for its
good, but
time.
I had to start playing a bunch of other games, which we'll talk about later, for a caravan of garbage. But no, Mad Max is terrific, especially Fury Road, which is by far the best by quite a long way.
Yeah.
But two's actually really solid, I would say.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I don't
we
want-
watched them.
But I mean, given the choice, I'm not going back to two. I'm
Oh,
going
no,
back to
you
four.
watched four.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's on Netflix, which probably is or is not.
That's right. Well, Melina says, A Quiet Place.
Yes.
You know what happens in that movie?
What happens to that movie?
No virus.
It's true.
Big spindly
Yeah.
spider monsters. They hear you. They're like, who's up to trouble? And then they come and get you. Who's making noise?
And then there's always they're like, I'm gonna issue them a fine. But then there's a misunderstanding, as always.
Yeah, of course.
Somebody's kid gets killed.
And somebody films it on their iPhone and uploads it to Twitter, and people are like, this is actually unacceptable. These monsters are eating us.
These monsters are cancelled.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like the world of Quiet Place, even if the people in the world of Quiet Place haven't quite figured out how to live in it yet.
Right, exactly,
They don't
yeah.
know the best case scenario
Yeah.
how to live. They're just laying down bags of flour or sawdust
Yeah.
and walking around. And
You know, the best thing to do to light up this particular room is a glass lantern that produces fire and noise and broken glass.
that's right.
That'll do it.
The dog's really coming at you today,
Yeah.
Mason.
I've checked though.
Yeah.
Cold, wet nose.
Oh,
So she's
good.
doing
Excellent.
fine.
Fantastic.
Doing fine, dog. You're doing all right.
Did you bop her right on the nose?
I did. I'll do it again.
Ephraim says,
Yes.
X-Men Apocalypse. I mean, he's aiming for an apocalypse. But in a way, he does do an apocalypse because he pulls all the metal out of the earth. But then
Yeah.
in the follow-up movie, also that's maybe a prequel. But,
Let's not talk about it. I don't want to talk about X-Men movies. Look, you would think that a movie called X-Men Apocalypse would be tailor-made for an episode of a podcast talking about the apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, and it's a podcast that talks predominantly about comic book movies. But to be honest, they've burned all their bridges. I'm
They
not
have.
going back to any of these. I hate them. I'm sick to death of these X-Men movies. They're bad. I don't like him.
Have you heard of the movie Threads?
No, tell me about it.
1984. It's like an apocalypse movie. Apparently, it's amazing. This comes from Thomas. It's a devastating nuclear war movie.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, here's one I want to talk about.
I love it.
And I know you've seen this one.
We'll see. I'll be the judge of whether I've seen it.
And of course, either of us could have been in the background because I'm pretty sure it was filmed in Australia. 2009's Daybreakers. Do you remember Daybreakers?
I do remember Daybreakers.
I feel technically it might be a virus movie, but it's a vampiric virus movie. It's got Ethan Hawke in it.
I'm not going to let that slide.
Sam Neill's in it.
He is. Others?
Others. It's the movie where the dominant life form on Earth is the vampire.
The Draculas.
The Draculas, absolutely. Yeah, my apologies.
Where do they come from?
A virus.
Yeah, but like, is it a man-made thing? Does a Dracula come back and be like, I'm back and I'm ready to bite?
Let's look it up real quick.
Okay. What I do, so the status quo in that movie is that people are kept in like factories and just siphoned for blood, and the blood is given to people.
Yes.
But then when they find a cure, which is something to do with being smashed through a windscreen and sunlight.
Yeah, what is it? What's fascinating to me about this movie?
I like it, by the way. I should point out.
I can't remember liking it. I remember that exact thing being like, I like the world and that, you know, everything's been adapted to vampire. Dracula.
And it's fairly low budget.
Yeah, everything's been adapted to sort of Dracula physiology, like all the car windows have been tinted out and et cetera. Yeah, and they're Ethan Hawke is trying to find make a synthetic human blood and et cetera. But the thing that annoyed me in that is that the whole concept of it falls down when we discover that the cure for vampirism is you as a vampire get exposed to sunlight for a certain amount of time and then you fall into some water. And then you're you're not a vampire anymore.
Yeah.
Like surely this would have happened thousands of times at this point.
Nah.
Millions of times.
It didn't happen. It hadn't actually happened.
This is a plague. This is a plague caused by an infected bat. I've gone too far.
Pick the worst thing, Mason.
This is the opposite of what I wanted.
That's very typical, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
All right, check it out, people. What do you think of it? We can't talk about it, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of things we can't talk about, Jace says 28 days / weeks later. Virus movie, zombie movie. I think it's virus movies and zombie movies is a different topic.
I think so too.
I did that for Train to Busan.
Yeah, and I think you're right in that that's not what's going to happen right now.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Do you think? I don't think the world. I think there's people out there, specifically people who have bunkers full of weapons and food, that would love a virus like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the situation we're in right now is exactly what they don't want to happen because they're not prepared for it.
A stay at home.
They're prepared. All the preppers out there. I listened to a podcast about this recently. There are a bunch of all the preppers out there are prepared for a brief stay in a bunker, then a violent uprising, and then they're the leaders. What they're not expecting is that
society bands together.
Society bands together and we all help each other, which seems to, for the most part, what is happening. You know? People are doing nice stuff and posting about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
So they're really not what they're expecting is to be able to get out of their house and snipe at zombies.
Yes.
What they're not expecting is they might go too close to somebody and get a weird, horrible flu and then they're bedridden for weeks. You know?
It's not very glamorous,
It's not glamorous, is it?
I'm sure there's people who
I guess they could shoot their gun out the window. But
I'd imagine there are a lot of preppers who just stockpile food and supplies, which this is like the ideal scenario.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm sure it's not all just lunatics waiting to kill their neighbours.
I think it's almost exclusively lunatics waiting to kill their neighbours. You're surrounded by them here. I've asked them all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've all been like...
I'd crush them all.
They've all built a coalition together. They've got a flag with your face on it.
Really?
And they're like...
Because I'm their leader.
Ooh.
That's how I see that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I could.
Maybe you could...
I probably couldn't kill my neighbours, actually. I'm just thinking about them.
Yeah.
No, probably not. I'd probably lose that.
They're just crossing their fingers hoping this turns into shoot your neighbour's territory. And then they'll be like, all right.
That's it. So Ethan says, can we get some love for the OG Mad Max? We did. Mike says Towering Inferno or any of the 70s classics. Towering Inferno isn't it's not an
apocalypse movie.
The tower's on fire, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You seen the movie Legion? Christopher asks.
Yeah, the Paul Bettany movie.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Have I seen that?
Here's the thing. I think right at about that time, there was also an Australian movie.
It's called Gabriel.
Which was basically the same movie.
The guy who was in Spartacus who ended up dying.
Yeah.
That was the lead of that movie. It was very stylized, kind of Matrix-esque.
It was very Matrix-esque, yeah.
Pretty low
It was
budget.
about that time, like the early 2000s?
Yeah, it was around. I think it was a bit before Legion.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 or 5
And
years.
but it's why we confuse the two, because stylistically they're quite similar.
Also, I think I haven't seen Legion. Or maybe I have.
Maybe. You might also be thinking of the movie Priest, which I think Paul Bettany is
That
also
one I
in.
definitely haven't seen. Maybe I have seen Legion.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, the angels come back and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm an angel, but I've got machine guns and abs. I'm an action star now.
That's a whole subgenre, I think.
Of angels having abs
Angels,
and
they're
action.
angels and they've got abs and machine guns. The Punisher was briefly an angel, but he also had abs and machine guns, if you recall, in the comic
Sure.
books. He
Okay.
came back as an angel.
Right, yeah.
He came back. It's that Mad Max situation where it was like he came back and briefly he was an angel, and then he's like, and then in his next series he was just regular the Punisher again.
What happened?
It never really reveals it. He's just like, I guess I didn't feel like being an angel anymore. They're like,
they,
all right.
They let him out of this contract?
I guess they did.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, we never expected anybody to say the magic words, I don't really want to be an angel anymore.
And just run your back with your wings across a brick wall and just shred them off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabriel was a sort of a very low budget Australian movie, probably filmed on Hollywood on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Warner Brothers Movie World. Very low budget, and it was set in Purgatory, I think. Should we give it a rewatch?
Or what was left of Earth, at least. Because
right.
maybe the rapture had happened and Gabriel comes back to Earth, but he's only got limited angel powers.
That's right.
And he can only use a little bit of his angel. Because once you're on Earth, you don't have your unlimited angel
If anyone
juice.
has seen that recently, any connoisseurs of low budget cinema,
Yeah.
let us know how it holds up.
Yeah.
In the recent past.
That's right.
Please let us know. Should I rewatch that again?
I'm just going to quickly look it up.
Okay, please do.
It's from 2007. And Legion was 2010.
Oh,
So there you go. I thought it was earlier than that. There you go. Yeah, Andy Whitfield was in it. Yeah, who ended up being in Spartacus and then passed.
It's not on Netflix, but I could watch any number of Gabriel Iglesias stand-up specials.
Oh, really?
So I could put those on my list.
What are they
Or
called?
the sitcom Mr. Iglesias, also starring Gabriel Iglesias.
I figured as much. Yeah, very good. What about this one?
Oh, yes.
Tristan Pease, who should also follow her on
Does some great art on Instagram.
Terrific art. Really great stuff. And great.
Not spelled how you'd think.
No, but also great, staying at home vibes kind of stuff going on. She's having a bloody drink. She's having a good time.
Having a quarantine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Got cool cats. Anyway, she says, doesn't sunshine kind of count? Absolutely, it does. And let's talk about it again.
I mean, here's the thing.
It's not a virus.
No, it's not a virus, but honestly, we've already talked about a bunch of scientists moving the entire Earth. And after that, the movie Sunshine's a bit of an anticlimax, isn't it, really?
What are you talking about? They're going towards the sun. That's more climactic, if anything.
It's less climactic than slingshotting a planet into another solar system.
That's a fair point with a big jet on it. Maybe they could have...
If you were like, listen, we've got two options here where Earth's getting a bit cold.
Yep.
Option one is relight the sun. Option two, put the planet in a big child slingshot. Like we're gonna build a really big one in space, and we're gonna build a Dennis the Menace the size of Jupiter.
Yes.
He's gonna operate the slingshot, and he's gonna fire Earth out of the solar system throughout the galaxy. I mean, the second one's more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not rated as well.
No, that's true.
And I haven't seen it. Maybe it's better.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, the sun is dying.
Yes.
They don't really elaborate it on in the movie why it is, but it's got a miniature black hole.
Yes.
Which is basically sucking the life out of it. And so Earth is cooling, right?
Yeah.
That sounds bloody nice, am I bloody right, Mason? You know what I mean? Balance it up, bloody. Anyway, so they've sent a team of scientists to reignite the sun by firing a nuclear weapon of sorts into it. They'd already sent a previous team and that team disappeared. Maybe because of sun madness.
Yeah, probably sun madness.
Because people look at the sun
very
too much.
common, yeah.
Yeah. And I know I talk about it a lot, but it's actually really terrific. And some people don't like the third act because it completely shifts in tone.
Sun madness horror
Sun
movie.
madness, but I really like it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of Danny Boyle's best films. He's obviously got other great films, but I think it's terrific. And you love it too. We both think it's the best movie.
I actually think it's pretty good.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh, good question.
Thanks.
I'm going to check my good housekeeping list.
All right, well, while you're doing that,
Yes.
why don't we chuck in from another one from Christopher? It says Book of Eli. Let's spoil the Book of Eli.
You know what? I didn't have a chance to watch it. That was one on my list that I'm like, I should rewatch this before we do this podcast.
Because people still talk about Book of Eli.
Because of the spoiler of the Book of Eli. Denzel Washington stars as a man. He's trekking across America for some reason involving a Book of Eli.
He's looking for the Book of Eli.
He's looking for the Book of Eli. But then it turns out...
Or he has the Book of Eli.
Right. But I think maybe he's trying to transport the Book of Eli. It's not important. What is important is the spoiler of the Book of Eli, as at the end of the movie, we discover that Denzel Washington's character, maybe his name is Eli, but We discover at the end of the movie that Denzel Washington's character Eli is in fact blind, and he's been doing all his action
His
sequences.
name is Eli.
Yes! I knew I had to nail it eventually.
Yeah.
That he turns out he's blind and he's been doing all these action sequences and stuff while blind.
Yes.
And I wanted to go back and rewatch this movie to see if it still holds up, knowing that his character's blind, or if there's any... If the clues are blatantly obvious in watching the movie, knowing what the answer is.
I don't remember loving it, but it's got a good style to it. I don't like also that kind of washed out look that a lot of movies did at the time, and some still do.
Yeah.
The color gradings have gone a bit too far on it.
What's your apocalypse outfit? Just side note.
Jeans and a tee.
Now you just put in your name into Google,
Okay.
and then apocalypse outfit.
Put my name and then apocalypse out.
Outfit into Google, and just give me the first image result. Let me know what it is.
Oh, that's rad.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
I'm being taken to Pinterest.
Oh,
Google never wants you to go to Pinterest. It's like, are you sure you want to go to Pinterest?
Yeah.
Mine's a Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Art station work.
Yep.
By Michael Verhoeven.
Oh.
I mean, look, it's for women, but I think men could wear that too.
You've got it's like a nice off the shoulder number.
Yeah, that's
You've
right.
got one exposed shoulder, might be a bit chilly, but
Look
you've got
how
a cape on the other
many
side.
how many knives I could put in my shin pads.
My god! Now I've got here.
What do you got? I got a staff too.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Sick.
I've
And a handgun.
I put in Nick Apocalypse outfit.
Oh, you're supposed to put in just first name.
That's what I did.
Well, I blew it. Anyway, sorry, go on.
So this is there's a guy, I think he's a cosplayer or something. He's got a character named Death X Hawk, and it's like look at this. I'm a real
Oh my god!
some sort of samurai situation, but he's got reindeer horns.
Are you
as
wearing
well.
a reindeer hat?
It looks like I'm wearing some. It
Like
looks
the
like
whole head?
It looks like a wicker hockey goalkeeper mask.
Yes.
but it's got reindeer horns,
Oh my
and I've got a
goodness.
lot of pouches, so that's good.
My one, if you just put my first name, is quite similar. It's like Ned Kelly.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Just covered in
you
dirty
got
rags.
got some red little pop of color there.
Yeah, you got to have
pretty
that.
good.
don't you?
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like I would
I
have
like
to.
my other one better.
I'd have to cover my arms, I think, because that's a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a little bit exposed. I think I get a bit chilly.
But what about you showing off the guns though? People can have a good peek at
Look,
the pipes.
I'd have to do some swimming first, and then I
Sure.
would show off the guns.
You better
I
get that
think.
infinity pool before
right.
things go bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. I like the idea of this. Anyway, people could send us theirs on Twitter.
Please let us know. Yeah.
Great. We'd love to see them. What else have we got? Let's see. I'm bringing this up. Simon Morgan says The Quiet Earth. Have you ever seen The Quiet Earth?
No, what's the Quiet
I
Earth?
think if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Is it based on a book? It sounds like it would be based on a
It's an
book.
Australian movie. Yeah, it's an Australian apocalypse movie. So basically this guy wakes up, and I never actually finished this, but it's from 1986, and everyone's gone. It's just him.
Oh.
There was some kind of weird nuclear accident, and maybe he's shifted into a parallel dimension or something.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't finish it, but it's really visually quite striking, and if you want to watch a man go mad, then you
I
certainly
do.
can. Yeah.
I mean, I get that for free here, so.
Yeah, well, that's true. Don't you just?
Yes.
What else you got?
I've not seen this one,
Okay.
but I'm excited.
I've seen it.
You haven't seen it. There's no way you've seen this one.
We'll say.
It's a movie you'd think you'd want to you put on your list, but you would never get to it.
Okay.
2011's Take Shelter with Michael Shannon in it.
No, I have no idea what that is.
See, there you go.
What's that about? Let me check.
He has a series of prophetic dreams about the world ending.
This got massive. This is really well regarded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this might go on my list for this week, and it's
I'm
got
gonna check
Michael
this
Shannon
out.
in it.
Psychological thriller directed by Jeff Nicholas starring.
Somebody
Jessica
on-
Chastain's in it as well.
Yeah, somebody on Twitter suggested this week that Michael Shannon's look, his overall aesthetic, like his red carpet aesthetic, comes from rebelling against the fact that he's always a cop in movies. Because it's always just like Hawaiian shirts and a pith helmet. Maybe he's always like that. I don't know.
Except for his look in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like Michael Shannon and everything. I should do a Michael Shannon week. Just watch every Michael Shannon movie.
Every one of them?
Yes.
Great. Have you seen The Shape of Water?
Yes.
He's wearing a fun Christmas sweater in this one.
Right.
He's just having fun.
Yes.
This guy seems great.
I think so too.
I like him. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to check that out. Right. Not a movie, says Piers, but The Last of Us is pretty rad. Yeah, and that had huge leaks this week. I don't know if you
I
saw that.
It got huge leaks and huge delays, I think.
Yeah, I
as
know
far as
they actually have a release date for it now.
Oh, they do?
in
Okay,
June,
right.
I think. Yeah. So, yeah. I didn't read the leaks. People could not send them to me. That'd be great. But
Yeah, I know I didn't read it, but I haven't played the first one, so
yeah, well, that's true. So you're probably like, what?
I'd be double spoiled for that.
Brady says The Happening, aka The Crappening. So the trees have turned against Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
And Zoe Deschanel. And they're like, why are the trees turning against us? And they're like, maybe the planet
Let's
is
get a chant
fighting
going,
back.
guys.
Why are the trees
Let's
turning against us?
Let's protest in front of town hall.
Yes.
Stop the trees. Burn all the trees.
It's not good. And the premise is kind of interesting though.
Yeah.
But then they have really comical suicides which don't help the movie. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't
Where a
seen
guy's
it,
just in
no.
the tiger pen and the tigers are just tearing his arms off and he's just standing there. There's a guy who lies down in front of like a wood chipper or something that goes over him
no.
or something. Yeah, but it's funny. It looks like a Tim and Eric sketch.
But it's not intended to be funny.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I think once you insert death by wood chipper,
Yeah.
like on purpose.
Or it might be like a corn thresher or something
Okay,
like that, but it's still very funny.
yeah.
I don't.
No, I'd tapped out of Shyamalan movies long before then.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. What about Thomas Crabtree who says knowing? Which one's that's a
it's
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage,
Cage
one. But there's
movie,
also the other one where he can see the future.
Future, yeah. That's where I tapped out of Nicolas Cage movies
Me
next.
too.
Movies next.
You can tell by his wig how seriously he's taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's his wig looking in Knowing?
Bad. Knowing's the one is with Rose Byrne.
Wait, that doesn't help with my scale at all. I'm sure they're all bad, but what's the level of...
I think there's better ones.
Okay, but I mean, is it the quality of the wig or the... If he's taking a movie seriously, what does his wig look like?
It's a serious wig. Like if you look at the one where he's the weather. I was going to say where he's a weatherman. The
Oh, yeah.
weatherman.
Okay.
He's got a serious good time wig.
That's a wig.
Yeah. He hasn't got much hair.
No, I know.
Yeah. So, he's doing wigs.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that looks like a man with very thinning hair.
Well, sometimes wigs are pretty good though now.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
guess.
mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Have you seen Doctor Strangelove? Christopher
Yes.
says.
Yes.
I haven't.
Oh.
It's good though, right?
It's fun.
When they ride the bomb.
Yes.
And he's like, woo. And everyone watching it's like, is this a downer? Yeah, it is.
It's as relevant today as it ever was, James.
Oh, isn't it just? Oh my goodness. People are demanding, like Danny, to talk about Geostorm. Technically, it's not an apocalypse movie because all those sheiks who live in the towers in Dubai survive when the big wave hits Dubai. Do you remember?
So it's not an apocalypse movie.
Well, they also survive, don't they?
Yeah, I know, but
I mean, they survive in all of these.
I was going to say, imminent apocalypse it counts just as much. You just don't want to talk
Yeah.
about the movie Geostorm.
That's fine. We'll talk about. Well, people have also said that when we start our the subscription thing, people would love one of the first commentaries to do is Geostorm.
Okay, let's do
and
it.
I'm more than happy to do
Let's
it.
do it. Yes,
so maybe we
please.
just save it for that. But what do you
Yes.
want to talk about for Geostorm between now and then?
Not a lot, really. We'll
Yes,
save
not.
it for the commentary if I'm honest.
Great.
Yeah.
Brandy says, I Am Legend. Virus.
Better as a book.
Big virus.
Yes.
Yeah, that is better as a book.
Yeah.
Also, vampires.
Draculas.
They're vampires, but they changed it for the... It's nearly a great movie, you know?
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah.
It's good. I think it's very watchable, but it kind of falls apart for me in certain places.
How long would you survive in the I Am Legend universe?
I'd be him. That's what I'd be the last guy.
That's what I
I'd be
figured,
working
yeah.
on the virus, but I don't know anything about biology, so I'm just pouring vials of blood and I'm
All right.
mixing it with a Coca-Cola and I'm like, is this anything?
yeah.
Yeah.
You spend one day just walking down like an aisle of a supermarket, just pouring blood into various. And that's the reason that's the reason you're the last man left on Earth.
Yeah.
Is because the next person comes in and goes, I just need some milk. I got to have a glass of milk, and they just drink it, and they're like, oh no, I've got some sort of blood disease now.
So what's interesting about the book, though, which I read just before it came out, is that it's about the last...
You got an advance copy.
Yeah, I did. No, it's from like the 50s or whatever, but it's about a man, and he's the last man on Earth, and because there is this vampiric...
I say vampiric,
plague,
but-
sure, that's swept the world. And he suspects, and he's not a scientist.
Yeah, he's
so
just
he's
a guy.
trying to figure it out, but he's not equipped
He's
to
just
do it.
pouring blood into things and mixing it with Coca-Cola.
But he thinks the reason why he didn't get it is because he was bitten by a bat in the war or
That's
something.
right, yeah.
But he doesn't know because he's not a
there's no way-
scientist.
yeah, that's the only
So
correlation he can think of.
These kind of brain dead vampires come to his house every night and they're trying to get in.
Well, they're not brain dead. They're
Well, some are and some
Yeah.
aren't. But what he does during the day...
some are aggressively sexy.
That's right. Some are aggressively sexy to lure him out. But what he does during the day, he goes around to the different houses and he stakes all the vampires or drags them out into the sun.
Spoilers for the
Yes.
book. I
Which,
Am
by the way,
Legend.
you should read.
Oh
by
yeah,
the
it's,
way. I
it's,
think
a, it's a
good.
brisk read. It's like 70 pages or
Yeah.
something. It's short.
But spoilers, go on.
It's a novella. Yeah, I mean, eventually
Yes.
he encounters a woman who he believes, like him, is immune to this virus.
Yes.
But then it turns out she's also a vampire, but she's sort of a more evolved vampire. She can survive in the daytime longer than regular vampires.
Yes.
and she is from like an enclave of vampires that are they've separated themselves from the rest of the world, and
Society has rebuilt itself as vampires.
vampires, yeah. But they know of they live in fear that they will, or their vampire brethren will go to sleep somewhere, and then a lunatic with a bunch of stakes will show up while they're sort of in their. Because in this universe, they have that vampiric torpor where they go to sleep and they just sort of in a coma situation. They can't do anything. And so they live in fear that this lunatic will just show up and start staking them to death. So they've had to band together to
get this guy.
To find him or, protect each other from this thing. And the I Am Legend in the title refers to him because they're like
he's a monster.
This monster of a man,
But as we've talked about before, in the movie, he's a bit of a legend because he exploded himself with a grenade or something.
That's right.
And maybe found the cure. But also, we've talked about it before, the alternate ending to that is better. It's also a virus one. We can't even be talking about this.
Right.
That's not a real rule. Just people were wondering. But it's the virus turns out to in the original one, he cures it.
Yes.
But the reason they're going after him is because one of them are a vampire couple that are in love, and he takes one of them to cure her.
Sorry, Dark Seeker couple.
Yeah, so Dark Seeker, that's why they come after him. But if you do want a more accurate take on I Am Legend, there's a Charlton Heston movie from 1971 called The Omega Man.
Yeah, right.
Which is sort of that, apparently. I've never seen it, so there you go. But I think I Am
There's also The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. That's another one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's been made and remade a bunch of times. So.
Right, okay, cool.
Yeah, never quite gotten it right.
Terrific. Have you seen The Birds, Dylan says?
The
birds are like, we're birds. We don't like any of these people anymore.
Is that going to lead to an apocalypse? I have seen The Birds.
Bird
yes.
Apocalypse.
Yes.
I bet there's a movie called Bird Apocalypse.
Oh, 100% there's a Bird Apocalypse. Yeah, I think there even is. Yeah, I think it's
I
probably
know there's
an asylum.
Birdemic people have talked about.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's I don't know, maybe. No, apparently there's not.
Oh.
Wait. No, there isn't.
Okay, wow.
That's amazing to me. There's not a movie called Bird Apocalypse. Yeah. I haven't seen it.
The Hitchcock movies we're talking about.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Another knowing. John says War of the Worlds.
But which version of War of the Worlds? Deadbeat Dad Tom Cruise War of the Worlds?
Or the one where they're like, there's aliens and they've come and they're attacking. Oh, they all got sick.
Isn't that what happens in Tom Cruise War of the Worlds?
Yeah, but there's more grenade launches in that one.
That's true. Well, we can lump War of the Worlds and Independence Day in together, I think.
I think we can, yeah.
They are, for all intents and purposes, the same movie.
Yeah, sure. Good movies, maybe? Tom Cruise movie? No, not a good movie.
I don't think it is.
Yeah. We won, my brother won a copy of War of the Worlds, a video game.
I'll stop you there.
Yeah.
Which brother?
The one you do like.
Oh, good
it was
for
an
him.
RTS. And this is in the era of like Age of Empires. I'm like, this is going to be sick. So I started playing it.
When you say he won one, was it one of those CD-ROMs you find in a cereal box?
I think he won it from the Crud Show.
Oh.
On Triple M.
Triple M's the Crud. Triple M Radio's the Crud Show.
Anyway, so I'm like, this is going to be great. So
you have to do like a Rambo impression or something like
that? He wrote in a letter or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Video game. I'm just going to check it out. It's from like 99 maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 98.
Oh.
Anyway, it's a bad game. So you start as the people and I'm like, this is going to be interesting. And you go in with your tanks and your whatever and they just swat you aside. And it's over immediately.
Is that the point of the game?
I don't know.
To learn a lesson about the inevitability of alien destruction of the planet Earth?
It's got a 4.9 though, but like apparently it was very well reviewed. But I did not like it. Wow. Maybe I just didn't figure it out properly. But yeah, people seem to enjoy it. But yeah, the original, obviously, play that people have talked about, the Orson Welles narrated version, is that spooked people apparently. Isn't there that story about it?
Yeah.
H.G. Wells. But did Orson Welles read it?
Yes,
is that
he
right?
did, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I don't know how much of that is actually true. I think Dougal did an episode on it.
There's a lot of it is true. I mean, it's not like...
Not the alien thing, the thing that people thought it was a real thing. And
yeah, no,
got
yeah,
spooked,
you're right. Yeah, and it happened more than once as well.
Yeah, because it plays like a news report where like a reporter's like, and it's coming out of the earth.
Well, if you want to listen to the Dugon episode, please do. But the short version is there's actually a Radio Lab episode on it as well.
This is a real-time strategy from 1998.
Oh, there's also what I'm saying right now, the butchering of all those things that I've taken in over the years, and the real information has gradually dripped out of my ears.
Yes.
With my brains, and I'm going to sort of just make a real hash of it right now. Is that basically what happened was that it was announced that it was a piece of fiction ahead of it, but at the time nobody was listening because there was a way more popular show on another channel.
Yeah.
But then the guest, it was like a variety show, I think, the very popular show. And I think the guest was not very interesting, or like not very, people were not on board.
Yeah.
Or I think maybe the host was not the host people were expecting. So they switched over to this other, they just channel surfed.
Yeah.
And at that point,
The Netflix of the day.
exactly, the
Switching the dial.
the announcement that this was a piece of fiction and you should judge it as a piece of fiction had already been and gone, and it was just news reports from this point forward, and people
Freaked out.
freaked out.
Well, that's television for you.
And it's happened.
Or radio, I should
And the
say.
experiment has happened a number of times. I think at one point it was also tried, I think in Brazil, and people burned the radio station down.
As like afterwards in retaliation.
Yeah, in retaliation they burned
Wow.
it down. Yeah,
That's a very reasonable reaction.
I agree.
Would you assume that was real if you saw that? Because I wouldn't. If I saw footage on Twitter, I'd still be like, what is this really?
No,
Is this a
absolutely,
viral
yeah.
campaign?
Yeah.
It would take me 3 days to be like, yeah, but is it? Is
Yeah.
this some kind of elaborate ad for some kind of detergent?
Is this disintegrator beam that's disintegrating me right now? Is it supposed to disintegrate the dirt and grime on my clothes? Is that what it is? Is this disintegrator brand washing powder? I'm just ahead now. I'm just being disintegrated.
I do love in that movie, the newer one where Tom Cruise is running down the street, as he always is, and it's vaporizing people around him, and he's just getting like puffs of dry people getting like,
Right, yes.
like just wafted into his face and mouth. Yeah. A few people have mentioned, including August.
Are we going to talk about Mars attacks though?
Oh, well, let's do that now. Yeah. Haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, right.
I know Pierce Brosnan is on a little dog's head or something.
He is. He gets his brain transferred.
Jack Nicholson's the president.
He's a general, but yes.
Yeah, great. Jack
Yeah.
Black's in it.
It's an all-star cast of people. Just
Sarah Jessica Parker.
look, you don't have to rewatch it. It's
Or watch it at all because I've never seen it.
no, you really don't have to.
Okay. Well, I won't.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted to say,
Annette
really.
Benning's in it. Michael J. Fox is in it.
Yeah,
Glenn
everyone's
Close
an
is in it.
all-star
Natalie
cast.
Portman's in it. Mm-hmm. Oh my! Martin Short's in it. Danny DeVito's in it. Tom Jones is in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Christina Applegate. Oh my god! This is incredible. So yeah, what do you think of that movie though?
I mean, it's interesting as a sort of, a
throwback.
a hyper modern at the time retelling
Yes.
of kind of, a 1950s sci-fi drama.
Frank Welker's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all in it. Oh yeah.
Terrific. Okay. All right. So maybe we'll watch that at some point one
Yeah.
day. That's the kind of thing that people ask us to kind of cover on Caravan of Garbage, but because it's kind of a comedy movie,
It's a parody of itself.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
difficult
yeah.
to
Exactly.
kind of do. Yeah.
And a lot of people, it's a Tim Burton movie, and a lot of people are like, well, it's bad on purpose.
Yes.
It's a throwback to that and sort of Ed Wood movies. And it's
Exactly,
kind of
yeah.
like it's meant to be kind of nonsensical and bizarre. So you can't really.
Yeah.
It was Ecuador.
Always Ecuador. Okay.
The World War
You've
of the
cleared
Worlds.
the good name of Brazil then.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Terrific.
Yes.
Yeah.
After it was revealed that the broadcast was fiction, the panic transformed into a riot. Hundreds attacked Radio Quito and El Comercio, a local newspaper that had participated in the hoax by publishing false reports of unidentified objects in the skies
Oh, so they
above
went
Ecuador.
out of their way to actually trick
in the
people.
days preceding the broadcast.
Okay, well that makes sense to me then that they would do that.
Yeah, the riot resulted in at least 7 deaths.
Oh shit.
Yeah, right.
What year was that?
1949.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
And there's just been a world war. Big one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. August and Kieran both mentioned The Road based on the book. One of them seems to like it because and the other one does it because Kieran says, I lost 2 hours of my life to that film. You've seen The Road?
I have seen The Road.
Harrowing.
Yeah.
That's worst case scenario for me.
Was it a pandemic though?
I think it was a nuclear thing.
Oh, okay, right.
I believe.
Oh, that's fine then.
The book's great as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're okay with that. But just the idea that
that was a Viggo Mortensen joint.
it was, and Cody Smith-McPhee, Nightcrawler's own.
Yeah.
But so he has to go. They're basically looking for somewhere warm with food.
Yeah.
They're trying to get to the coast, and everything's grey and horrible, and there's cannibals.
They're
and
wearing bin bags. Everybody's
Yeah.
in a bin bag.
You're always running out of food.
It's not
and-
even a bin bag full of mud.
yeah.
They aren't even rich apocalypse survivors.
It's strange because it's also one of those movies where it's like, why even survive? Like for
Right,
what?
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there is elements of hope to it, but it's so bleak
Yeah.
and very depressing.
Because
But
how do you rebuild society after that?
You don't.
know?
You just don't bother.
I mean, what are you doing? Putting vials of blood in a Coca-Cola and swizzling around? That won't build you a town hall.
that won't do a goddamn thing. A few people have also mentioned Children of Men. It's a virus movie.
It really is.
I'd love to talk about it, but it's a great movie, and
It's tremendous, that movie, yeah.
It really is.
It's as relevant today as it was when it was made a few years ago.
2006? I think it's quite
Maybe.
older than you'd think it is.
I reckon it's 2009.
Let's check.
Let's place a bet on it. $1,000.
$1,000. It's actually 2006. You owe me $1,000. So I will only accept cash or check.
Bag of mud?
I'll take a bag of mud.
Okay, big bag of mud. Okay.
What's $1,000 worth of mud look like?
It's half a bag of mud. I'm doing you a great deal.
Children of Men is well worth looking at.
Yeah.
If you haven't, and people talk about like the wanna in
Maybe
it.
not right now.
No, but it's also it's worse than what's now.
Well, it is absolute. That's
Yeah.
something to bear in mind, that it's way worse than what's currently happening.
It's a terrific action movie within other things.
yeah.
There's no children of men or women.
So true.
So true, isn't it?
There's only children
Yeah.
of people.
That's right.
Really makes you think.
And just the way that society shifts.
And again, I think we mentioned this in weeks past, but it's very much like, it is very similar to now in that there is this global pandemic.
And everyone's just doing their
Everyone's
jobs.
just going to work.
Yeah.
It's still happening.
And it's weird because there's also that idea of celebrity because youth is important. And
Yeah,
the
and
youngest person in the world who's 19 at this point is the most famous person in the world.
Yeah, right.
And he's horrible.
Yeah.
Because he's the most famous person in the world.
And he's probably a YouTuber.
He's probably a YouTuber. It seems that way in a lot of these movies. But no, it's great performances and it's just a terrific movie. And it's also hopeful.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
That's every
That's
apocalypse
movie that doesn't include a pandemic, except for the ones we didn't mention, and the ones we did mention that are about pandemics.
Sorry we didn't talk more about Birdpocalypse, but they didn't actually make that movie. It's not a real movie.
Not a real movie, yeah.
12 Monkeys, Graham says.
I mean, that's pandemic and time travel.
Yeah.
So I guess that counts.
Yeah, pretty good. Oh, James also says Rain of Fire. Oh,
my goodness.
Love Rain of Fire.
Have we talked about that recently, though? I mean, a lot of these we've talked about recently.
So you got to give points to Rain of Fire for...
Did we not do a list of dragons or something recently?
Probably. Let's do a list of dragons next
it might have
week.
been who won in a fight between Smaug and a dragon from Rain of Fire.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair question.
But the apocalypse comes about because there were dragons.
It's something different, isn't it?
Yeah, in ancient times, but then they were all...
They're back.
They were all hibernating at the Earth's core.
Well, one was at the very least.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
And he comes out and he's like, dragons are here and we're here to stay.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all been murdered. It's the silliest movie ever made, but it's really, I think it's great. And we should do it for Caravan of Garbage at some point.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Well, do you know what it's time for then? Because we've got to move it along.
We do. It's time for what we're reading.
What we gonna read.
Yeah.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? What are you reading today, Mason?
You know what I watched recently? It's a rewatch.
Okay.
But it's a good fun time for everyone. Is Chef.
Chef's great.
Did you know there's an Indian remake? Came out a couple of years later.
Really?
It's on Amazon Prime if you
It's
want to
called
watch it.
Indian Chef?
No, it's called Regular Chef. It's called Regular Chef, just like the previous movie Chef. I'm just a regular chef like Jon Favreau is a chef in the movie Chef.
But
I'm Indian, but that's not relevant to the story.
That's not what it's not about
It's
that.
not a race, brackets, it's not a race thing.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I think I might watch it just to see
Why
if it
not?
holds up.
What are they cooking though? Is it similar foods?
I wonder if it's Cubanos.
Fascinating to me.
And beignets.
Do you want Jon Favreau to cook you one of those?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Do you think he would? I reckon if you're on set, he'd do one for you.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, but he's busy. Is he directing a movie?
He does that often. Like he'd often be like, "Break time, everybody. Let's all make some sandwiches together."
Is that true?
Yeah, he made the kid from Jungle Book one.
Oh, that's fun.
So if you were starring in the Jungle Book, he'd make you one.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Can I make that happen somehow?
You could definitely do that. He makes one with Bill Burr on his chef show as well.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Bill Burr's like, I only want to make those ever. But I love the idea of the making those sandwiches, how intense they are about it. Like it's so precise. It's not just slapping something together. It's let's do this properly.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. You couldn't eat too many of them. That'd mess you up, I reckon.
I could eat 4 of those.
Wow, that's too many maybe.
No, I could do it.
I don't know. I've never had one. It could be just the right amount.
And just the way he makes a toasted cheese sandwich is so many.
It's crazy,
just
right?
So many layers of cheese. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I could go on right now.
You can't.
No, I will.
But you're not allowed. I got some cheeses in the house if you want some cheeses.
That's okay. I think I have cheese.
Get a bread you want with that though. You need a special brioche or something?
Oh, yep. You got a special brioche?
No, I don't. I'm not a big fan, to be honest.
Huh.
It's a bit sweet.
Well, you're bread free a lot of the time.
I'll do a bread free, but I'll do like a grainy bread. But the thing is, like, I'll eat bread.
Yes.
Like white bread.
All right, we get it.
No, if
Yes.
it's like proper bread. I'm not just eating shit bread.
It's not a piece of cardboard with bread drawn on it.
That's right.
It's proper bread.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I don't just want to eat like a shit piece of bread. If I'm going to eat bread, it's got to be the best bread.
Right.
You know, you can go to a restaurant, they give you like good bread. Not that I've been to a restaurant in like 100 years, it seems.
Well, yeah, clearly because you think that at restaurants they just serve you bread.
Yeah, up top. They're like, up top. And they throw you some bread. You never been to a restaurant?
I've never been to a bread restaurant.
Breadstront?
The aggressive bread restaurant that you seem to love so much. Hey, idiot, have some bread.
Up top.
Ow.
You don't like the bread at a
Bread
restaurant?
in your head.
Bread
yeah.
in your head, yeah. I've just been, because we're doing the Brosnan Bonds.
Yes.
Thank God. It just beat out Space Jam. Thank God. But I've been playing all the video games associated with those. That's what a lot of my spare time has been dedicated to that.
Yeah, right.
And not too fun, but some of them really fun.
Would you argue completely worth it?
At the end, no. The last one I'm playing, no, not worth it at all. But there's some other good ones in there. And that's starting this week. GoldenEye's up this week.
Yeah, okay, I'm excited.
Talk about both the game and
I had
the
a lot of fun
movie.
watching those movies. In retrospect,
Sure.
they're not all great
No.
or interesting, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I now recognize them more as throwbacks to silly Roger Moore style Bonds than movies that were attempting to be hard hitting and grim and gritty.
Exactly.
GoldenEye's still good though.
It's right, because now we're 20, 25 years removed. So,
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
that's how it goes these days, isn't it? Is that everything that we've been reading?
I bet I've been watching and reading some other stuff, but I couldn't tell you for the life of me what it was.
I've started a book, but I'm not ready to talk about the book. Maybe I'll talk about it on Suggestible.
Because you don't know how you don't know you don't have an opinion on it yet.
No,
or
I
you're
do.
not far
but,
enough into it.
But I just, I like it, but I'll talk about it more at a different time. Maybe on Suggestible this week. Who knows? What's
Oh,
next?
you know what I've been watching? And I think maybe you put me onto this. You know, there's a YouTube channel called Ahoy, sometimes Retro Ahoy.
Yeah, they're great.
And he talks about, he's been doing it for years. There's a guy named Stuart Brown, and he does.
I think I did. I sent you that, I think.
I think you did
I
on
Twitter DM'd you.
on one particular thing, but he does deep dives on a few things.
Yeah.
Old school video games like Wolfenstein and Doom and Quake.
Yep.
And he does like deep dives on guns in video games and things like that.
One of the recent ones is explosive barrels.
Explosive barrels, like the first instance of, he sort of does
Crazy.
the first instance of explosive barrels and why video games would incorporate barrels that explode,
Yeah.
like what was the cultural context of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's one that I really like, which is a sort of a deep dive on the origins of Polybius,
Oh, that
which is
video game.
a sort of a legendary arcade game that supposedly gave people seizures and mental health issues, and
Nightmares and
it was installed by shadowy government agents to
Yes.
evaluate and control human behavior or something like that. And he sort of does a deep dive and he sort of does some investigative journalism
Yes.
on how it emerged, and he talks to people, in the video game magazine industry on urban legends and all this sort
He's
of
not
stuff.
just slapping these things out.
He's not just slapping them together like
Yeah.
some would do a podcast. he's really doing the research.
I
think
love the
they're great.
thumbnails as well. They're really well thought out.
Yes.
There's someone on Syndicate. I haven't watched that one yet. Remember that game?
Yeah, I remember Syndicate, yeah.
Shit hot, man.
Oh, yeah.
And they made it into a first-person shooter.
I remember that, yeah. Uh-huh.
The Doom one is 50 minutes as well, which I also really enjoy.
Definitely worth it, yeah.
He's got a 7-minute one on Lemmings. There's a bunch of these I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, they're
that's
real
really
good.
Cool. Okay.
He only releases them quite sparsely.
Maybe a cup, 2, 3 or 4 a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he took a big break, I think, a couple of years ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're real good.
They are real good. He knows what he's doing.
That's right.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's got some Patreon stuff going. I just checked as well.
Oh, good.
It's good. Because, it's hard when you're releasing stuff so far apart. It's hard to finance that, especially because you have to work independently of it.
Exactly.
So,
And you have to, you have to pose as various identities to get the truth out of Polybius myth makers,
that's right. He beat me to the punch because I was actually going to do that. I was making the exact same video. So no, I can't, obviously.
Are you kidding? Or
I'm deep undercover, Mason.
Oh, I see.
No, I'm not really.
Oh, James.
Video games are not my thing.
James, you'll say anything.
For a laugh?
Is that what you've been trying to do?
I'm not sure. What's next?
The next is letters, I think.
Great.
I'll play the letters theme, and then we'll know we're in letters.
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
I know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Do you think it's time for letters?
Yes.
That's probably because it is. You do want to reach the show, #WeeklyPlanetPod on Twitter or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. If you want to send a Gmail over to Nicholas Mason, he's right there. He's reading your Gmails. He's
This one's
loving
from
them.
this one's from Dylan Henderson. Just a quick message. Just want to say you guys are bloody great. From Dylan Henderson.
Henderson.
The name says Henderson, but then below it says Henderson.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a real mystery man, this Dylan
Initially,
Henderson.
I got this because I'm just like, oh, yeah, maybe just like a nice message from somebody. We really appreciate when people send a nice message, just to say we like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not just shouting into the void.
We see him and we
but
love
then
him and kiss
I
him.
discovered the typo, and I'm like, that's good stuff.
Let's wreck this guy.
Yeah, let's.
That's great. Thank you very much. That's really nice to hear.
Thank you for sending us Henderson nice words. Podcast's over.
He
We've
went
done
out
it.
of his way to say a nice thing and we rinsed him for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And the Google automated responses say, haha, thanks. Thank you, that means a lot. And thank you, exclamation point.
Which one are you going to do?
I'll send the middle one.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because
Is
it's nice
thanks
and
too
sincere.
aggressive?
And then I'll add at the bottom, also, we made fun of you on the podcast.
Great. This is from James on Twitter. Can you guys do an episode on Netflix's The Midnight Gospel? I'd like to know what you think about it.
The animated one,
Hashtag
right?
Wiki Planet Pod. It's the creator of Adventure Time. And it's basically a guy who can go
He's sticking his head up a butt.
sticking his head up a butt to jump into a number of false realities to then interview people in a podcast format while the world that he's in is falling apart. I watched the first one, the zombie apocalypse, and they was talking about the legalization of drugs as they're doing this, as all like the zombies are tearing apart. He's
Right.
interviewing the president, and it's like it's a lot.
Yeah, right.
Like
I
it's
bet.
in a good way, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, whoa, this is really intense. Like visually and just following the conversation is, yeah. But I really enjoyed it, so I do want to go back. I don't think I could shotgun it all, though. I'd have to spread it out quite a bit to kind of get through it. But yeah, it's not a kid's show either. It's absolutely not a kid's show.
Are you saying that cartoons aren't just for kids now, James?
Cartoons are for men and women of all ages.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
It's controversial, but it's cool.
Yeah,
I like
cool.
it.
All right.
Yeah. This is from Tom Breck.
Tom Breck.
One of those electric letters. Hey, James and Meso, found you guys recently before the world fell apart and extremely thankful for the podcast as I finish my finals. Congratulations.
Finals of what?
College, it looks like. So my question for you guys, so now that my college graduation is cancelled, what do I do now? And I have a couple of options down the bottom from Gmail.
What do we got?
Congratulations.
Yep.
And I will look into this and get back to you.
Is this us getting back to him now?
I think so, but I guess we could do some research. I mean, technically you have graduated.
What does it mean? What does he mean? What do I do now? Does he mean like in life?
I think it's a deep question, right?
Well, what did he study?
Good question, Tom Breck. Good question.
I don't even know where to start.
I'm going to
with
say
this.
anything you damn well want, Tom
Follow
Breck.
your passions.
Say, well, if anybody stops you, whether it be the police or someone at the supermarket.
Say no, you're under arrest.
That's exactly right. Cashier at the supermarket.
Yeah.
Look, I think they can just send you your graduation certificate, or your degree, your diploma. So that's.
I didn't do for my business degree. I didn't go because I'm like I don't care, and I think I've got it somewhere, but I never need it.
You're right, exactly.
I think there's enough. If I need to get a job now, they'll be like, "Where's your business experience?" And I'd be like, "Well, I run a business."
Right.
And they'd
I
be
mean, I
like-
did run a business. It's all fallen apart. That's
Yeah.
why I'm applying for this
That's
job.
what I'm doing, exactly.
So what I'm saying is my experience is running a business into the ground.
That's
Anyway,
right.
can you hire me?
So what I'm saying is, it wouldn't help whether I had. So I have a business degree from
Yes.
the mid 2000s,
Go on.
which I struggled through, or failed business. So that's what I'm going in with. So I don't think either are going to help me.
That's true.
I could be a social media liaison. I could run the account for Denny's. I'd be having
Grand
banter
Slam
with
breakfast,
other,
you'd say.
Yeah, but I'd having banter with other brands.
Exactly. You'd be like, hey, Wendy's, stop grand slamming my wife, you'd say. Because that's what they kind of thing they say now. you
That's
know?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Pretty
the
good
only
stuff.
that's the only food product from Denny's I know of.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Isn't
Denny's in Australia for like 5 minutes.
Thank God.
It was one. It was pitched as like a fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
It was on the waterfront. The
Ugh.
Denny's in Melbourne.
I've talked about it. I had it once when
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
over there, and it was the worst meal I've ever had.
I know.
Yeah, which is why we didn't take the solo Denny's offer, which we've also talked about.
Oh yeah.
No, sorry, that was for my YouTube channel.
Oh, I see.
That's
right.
right. I would have run that by you. Yeah, it was a horrible meal. Maybe it was just
I would have taken the money. They could have shipped
Oh,
the Denny's to us.
I would have-
I would have eaten cold Denny's.
I would have if I hadn't eaten it. To be
Yeah.
honest, like I 100% would have. Yeah,
you
I'm
go.
like, yeah, it's a restaurant. People know it. Whatever.
Anyway, Tom Breck. What I'm saying is,
Go to Denny's.
Yeah, go to Denny's.
Say no, you're under arrest.
That's right. And one grand slam, please. Yum, yum, yum.
What would you say though? What do you do when you finish? Because there is that kind of
There's
that moment where you're like, what's this now?
And we're really in the middle of how does one... Well, I mean, we need more information, Tom Break. Email in again. Let us know what you do.
Yeah, we'll come back to you if we're here next week, which we might not be.
We might, but we'll...
But seriously, email us back.
Yeah, we'll remember. But
maybe that's the one thing we could do for the other thing they're doing, the big sandwich thing.
Yeah.
Where we could do
career advice.
Or just advice in general. Not good advice, but just be like, this
Look
is
at the position we're in currently.
Yeah, I mean, do you want this?
No.
Yeah, you're under arrest.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Look, just I reckon start a hobby right now. If you got a little time on your hands.
Sometimes a hobby becomes a career you're trapped in.
Yeah.
You have to do it week to week. Even through a pandemic. Everybody else gets to take time off except for essential workers. But why am I still working? I'm non-essential. It doesn't even make any sense, Mason. Okay.
Anyways, take up gardening.
Yeah, gardening's good.
Get a little planter box.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big garden, does it?
Yeah.
Do some succulents.
Get some maybe some tomato plants.
Yeah.
If you're in America, it's probably a good time for tomato plants. Not a good time right now.
Exactly.
In Australia, but out there.
And then
some basil, maybe.
And if they don't grow, you say, "No, you're under arrest."
That's exactly right.
And you get little handcuffs, and you handcuff them all.
That's right.
Yeah, you could do a herb garden even.
Yeah.
There's having fresh herbs in the garden. It's shit hot, man. Straight up.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Take that basil right off the vine.
Right.
Nom nom.
Here's a question from Kyle, Weekly Planet Pod. How often do you use the skip intro feature when streaming?
Somebody asked this week, not just on Twitter, I saw it.
Yeah.
Never.
Really?
I never skip an intro. It's part of the TV viewing experience.
I'll skip an intro all day, every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Which ones will you skip? So everything?
Everything.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't think there's one
I
that I
never thought you were a skip on every intro kind of guy. No, I'm kidding. I did. You skip all the cutscenes in games, even the ones where you meet a character and they're like, now I've got to give you some essential information. There's no way you'll be able to finish this. You'll just be muddling around for hours if I don't give you this
James,
information.
I'm talking to you specifically.
That's
we
right.
made this game with you in mind.
And then you're like, now you're under arrest, and you skip it. And then it's just you driving around in circles for hours
right.
going, this game sucks.
I'd rather do that than take advice from anybody, quite frankly.
Wow.
That's the kind of man
No, it does
that I
make
am.
sense you're an intro skipper.
That's true.
There's just so many good intros, though.
I agree.
The Wire Season 1 intro.
Never seen The Wire.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine intro.
I'll do a short one.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
I'll do like The Office or something.
Yeah, right.
But you know when you
Dun,
get...
dun, 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 dun,
I watched like
dun, dun, dun.
Westworld the first time for the season.
Yeah,
and like all these people are being 3D printed and that's cool. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'm like, I don't need this again. Really, Mason.
So I find them so atmospheric.
Yeah.
It's rare for me to find... Look, there must be one, but I feel like if...
I hate when you can't skip them. You watch it on an app where it doesn't give you the option.
Yeah, right.
I'm outraged by that.
Yeah.
Some are too long. They're like a minute too long.
Somebody emailed in, and I don't have it here, but they had a similar point.
Then why are you talking about it?
On Disney Plus, on The Simpsons, apparently when you skip the intro, it goes to the couch gag. You can't skip the couch gag because it counts as part of the episode.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, right.
I think that's really good.
I think that is good.
But you'll miss the Bart writing on the chalkboard to say, does anybody even read this?
That's right.
No, they skip it, Bart. Bart Simpson. This is from Kyle.
Yes.
How often do you skip? I did that. It's from Sam I Am. This is to you, Mason.
Yes. How often do I skip? Never.
You can't skip?
No.
I'm shit hot on the skipping rope, man.
Yeah, right.
Do you want me to post a video? I used to be a primary school teacher. I could do backwards crisscross. Did you know that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. I can do a double jump.
Could they skip high enough? Could they do the rope high enough that you wouldn't get caught in it? You wouldn't get whacked in the face?
No, I could. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I could do. You know when they have two ropes, the double Dutch thing.
Yeah.
I can do that. Wow. Yeah, I'm good.
Well, because you'd never live it down if you were a teacher and you got in there and they whapped you in the face
come
and
and
ankles.
give it a go, and you're like, okay, and you run in and
then like Run DMC starts playing. You've set it up in the corner. You're like, you've got a matching Adidas tracksuit on. You're like, okay, if you insist. I don't know if I'll be any good.
Do you think I should do it?
Yeah.
All right, you film it. We'll put it up.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right.
I think I got a rope somewhere.
Do you have It's Tricky? Run DMC song.
We can do that.
Okay, we'll make it happen. All right.
Okay. So Sam Mayab says, with more free time, has Wikipedia Brown
Yes.
watched Treasure Planet yet?
Nope. I haven't.
But Mason, you said you would when we talked about
I
Disney.
don't have as much free time as I would have hoped for. I've been Marie.
You've been doing a bit of a cleanup, haven't you?
I've been Marie Kondoing my house.
Yeah.
And I've just been watching a lot of James Bond movies.
Yeah.
Doing the extensive preparation for this podcast, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
It really chips away, yeah.
But would you watch Treasure Planet?
Maybe next week.
You won't watch it.
No, I won't watch it this week.
Son of a bitch.
Absolutely not.
I think that's the show unless you got another letter
Oh,
there.
I got one more letter. This is from Alex Knox.
Aha.
It says WT asterisk is up with Batman and Robin 1949.
I have no idea what
Well,
that
it's
is.
hey James and Meso. A few days ago, I came across the Batman and Robin 1949
Like the cereal?
series. Yeah. And since then, I've had a couple of questions about it. Mainly, what the hell was this show? He's got a couple of points here. The first 5 minutes of the episode that blew my mind. Batman lives in the suburbs.
Cool. Why wouldn't he?
There's apparently a constant repeated shot of Alfred looking into the living room. The police coming across a group of guys coming out of a car immediately open fire. Commissioner Gordon uses the bat symbol in the middle of the day. Apparently, it's very similar to like a Frank Sinatra Rat Pack style movie.
like a
So
nonsense
maybe
and
we
everyone's
should
drunk.
get into. Maybe we should watch a few episodes of it. Maybe prior to the Batman coming out, we'll
The costume's not great. Guy's a
It's
good
the
look.
one with the floppy ears.
Yeah, this guy's a good looking Bruce Wayne though. You see him with the cowl off.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
got the telephone.
Uh-huh.
He looks
Yeah,
the part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know much about this.
No.
But there's a bit where he's on some kind of. He's holding a stick and it's electrified or something.
Oh.
What's going on with this? Yeah, we should cover it at some point. How much of this do we have to watch? None. Perfect.
One episode.
Yeah, that's a good amount. I think.
How long's a movie serial? They're probably an hour.
I think they're like, don't they run short because they run like 15, 20 minutes at a time and they'll run
maybe.
a few?
Yeah, maybe.
I actually don't know. I can actually look that up right now. If
Please.
you want to bring the show to a close.
Thank you, everybody, so much for listening in these trying times. We're glad you all still have working ears
Me too.
and working interest in our dumb podcast.
Yes.
Let's see. Thank you for telling your friends about it. Mostly via Zoom meetings, I would imagine, or phone calls. To have a nice chat to your friends.
Maybe
And-
you're breaking the rules.
Oh,
Don't do it though.
Don't do it. Maybe, if you're on a Zoom call or something, just mention us. Just let us know. Just let them know.
Let
Don't
them
let us
that-
know.
No, we know. We do. We know.
We know.
Mostly
From
know
the
that we do this.
statistics. We know.
17.6 minutes each. So I took the total runtime of 264 minutes divided by 15 chapters.
Okay.
So it's about 7
Maybe
minutes.
it's real back end heavy.
Could be.
Maybe the last couple of episodes are very, very long.
Yeah, it's like a 3-hour finale.
Yeah.
It's quite possible.
Maybe the first bunch are like TikToks.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for subscribing, and thanks for leaving a nice review. James, do you have a nice review?
Got a couple right here from Caden100. Says the best podcast out there for one sole reason. I hate it when I listen to a podcast and you can hear the smacking and the opening of lips and tongues moving around. It's too much. These guys have the best and perfect audio quality. No one has ever said that. That's
It's
incredible.
true.
Thank you so much.
Maybe this guy doesn't have working ears. We'll take it.
Feels like they're in the room with me or in the car, and I don't want to hear the nasty lip smacking about
Oh, you
the
know
best
what?
version of itself.
That's the guy who's always here listening directly.
Oh, that's why.
That's why the audio is so perfect, because he's in the room
He's
every
never
time.
said anything, has he?
Yeah, that's right.
Should we get him to leave?
I mean, we'll have to brush his long hair out of his face to finally see his face. Obviously,
Sure, yeah.
yeah. Isn't it weird? He's always in black and white too.
I like him.
Yeah. Let's just give him his.
Let's give him his.
I mean, he's very quiet most of the time, so I'm glad.
I mean,
I'm
we've
glad
never
he's-
brought
I'm
it
glad he's
up,
gone,
so yeah. I should
nice.
also point out that this might be the first episode that I am not editing. Raw Collins is going to take over for a little
Oh.
bit with the kids, so he's going to take care of all those lip smacking noises. But I do take out that stuff if I can isolate it. I'll take them out. Sometimes I add extra ones in. Is it a thing that you? I don't like it. I'm not a
Right.
fan. Do you? I know some people do like it.
Some people like it a lot.
I'm
think.
not a fan.
I'm largely indifferent to it.
If I'm focused on it and I think about it and
Yeah.
it's pointed out, then it bothers me.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I'm completely indifferent, but there's a subgroup of people. It's the smacking of the lips and also eating on air.
Yeah.
But there's even like entire podcasts devoted to let's eat these fun snacks and see how it goes. And I think there are some people who are probably would listen to that for 5 minutes and say never again.
Yes.
But there's a certain dedicated audience that'd be like, why aren't there more podcasts like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pervs is what I'm saying. Sickos.
Got another review from Jarvis D09. I might have merged these together because the title of this is the best version of itself, which is maybe the thing that I said at the end of the last one. This is, and I don't say this lightly, the greatest podcast James and Nick do. You may be asking yourself, am I referring to the Weekly Planet or Caravan of Garbage? Whichever one you're thinking of, the answer is yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So 5-star review, you can just do it in app. It really helps. Please help the show if you can. I'm doing that clap thing on Twitter that people do.
A real clapback.
I hate those.
Are you doing a clapback to people who've been quite complimentary
Yeah.
to you? Thank you for your kind words. It really helps the show.
Ongoing support. I didn't clap.
Remember to clap when you do a complimentary clap back, James.
I will from now on.
Anyway, speaking of supporting the show, if you'd like to
Yeah.
support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies if you'd like to chuck in a buck. But in future, we might be doing some big sandwich-related things. But I'm sure you can do both.
Yeah, thank you for the feedback on that as well. that
Yeah.
people
Or you can go to
giving.
the Amazon affiliate link in the episode description.
Yeah.
You can click through and buy. If you're going to buy your regular shop, maybe do it through our link. It would really help out.
If you could, it'd be great. What's next?
The socials. Let's see. If you want to get in contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod at Gmail, at Facebook, at Twitter, at Bandcamp.
Yes.
You can also go to planetbroadcasting.com. You can look at all the podcasts on the Planet Broadcasting Network. You can sign up to the newsletter from the aforementioned great Robert Collins.
Give us $1.
Yep. Is there an option on the page?
Yeah. You
One click, just
you
give
put
us
a coin
$1.
into your phone.
Oh, that's really cool.
Slot it in.
Nice.
We'll get it.
Yeah, we figured out that technology. We
That's
can move
right.
a planet. We can
We'll figure it
put
out.
a dollar
Yeah,
through
yeah.
a phone. You can also go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group. It's been a real rock in these trying times. If you want to just go in there and have a chat about some pop culture podcasty fun stuff.
That's right.
It's right there for you.
Exactly.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter, and on Instagram I'm Nick Maso, NickMaseeau. You are Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
Platforms all the time. Yeah.
That's
Next
right.
week, maybe an episode.
Maybe an
Hopefully.
episode.
I don't plan on missing it, but you don't. I don't know.
T-shirts on tpublic.com.
Yes.
Rock some Weekly Planet tees in isolation.
Rock some teas.
Rock some tees, exactly. And thank you to Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. Next week, an episode or not an episode. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something or nothing out. All right. Thanks for watching, listening. Yep. That's, and then you say
Professional till the end. Grab that gem, you guys. We will see you very soon.
goodbye. This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.